Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. Um, just trying to prepare to do this show. I feel like everything is dark in here today. I don't know why. Somebody must have messed with my lighting. Lady K. Hello. Hold on, I haven't even opened this up. Let me see if y'all can hear me. Okay, yeah, y'all can hear me. Or at least y'all should be able to hear me. Couple adjustments. Good afternoon, Sabrina, Rodney, Tria, Michelle. Those are the people who have commented so far on the Facebook page. Let's see, on the YouTube page. Ebony, Tony, Candy, Maria, Purple Rain, DeWanda. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Russell. Also, don't forget to share. Sharing is caring. That's what they tell me. And Erica. All right, I gotta switch mics now. 4 minutes after 101.5, the buzz of Cincinnati. Where's your talk station? It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm the king of talk. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. On the other side of the glass. Hold on, let's see if we got the camera still over there. Raven Mundy.
Good morning.
She is your favorite millennial. At least that's what she says.
Because it's true. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Which, by the way, somebody happened to mention on Lincoln's Live this morning that I sound more and more like you every day. And I guess they thought that I was supposed to take that as an insult, but I didn't.
Maybe maybe you sound like Dave Stinger. They'll confuse you for Dave Stinger now.
Yeah, because they do often make that mistake that you two are one and the same. So.
Yeah. But maybe they didn't mean like your voice. Maybe they meant your thoughts.
Well, if Dave Stinger has, rational thoughts, then yeah, I guess we would sound alike.
All right. I got a few things that I want to discuss today. A few things that I want to discuss, of course. And y'all know I try to talk about stuff, that we can discuss, we can think about, and feel good about, or at least feel like, we've come to some sort of conclusion, or we've been enlightened, we've learned something. I don't have any of that stuff today. None of that stuff today. Just stuff, okay? Just stuff. 749-1230 today if you just want to talk about stuff that I have. None of this stuff is like super deep. It's not going to change the world. It's not going to change your life. It's just stuff.
Is that what you set out to do every day?
Yes, every day. I want to change the world,
and
I want to change your life for the better every day.
I can respect that.
Yeah, probably not going to happen today. But we'll have some conversation, all right? All right, hopefully. Biden to unveil plan addressing mental illness amid gun crimes in black communities. Yeah, the Biden administration, they're getting ready to unveil this plan dealing with the rise, maybe. I don't actually know if it's a rise. I think it's more of a focus. Because when I listen to the numbers, At least here locally, when they start giving out numbers, every once in a while you're watching a news station and they'll say, so far we have 19 homicides or 43 homicides or whatever. And that's on pace with last year, or that's on pace with, and they'll tell you for whatever reason, the multiple years that it's on pace with. And they're not saying that this is like some uptick in crime. That's not what I'm hearing. I think we're just maybe more focused on it. When people start talking about a thing, you really begin to notice it more. It's like when you buy a new car. You see a car, and it don't have to be new. It can be used. But you see a car, you buy that car. And then once you get out on the road driving that car, you notice everybody else got your car. And you had never noticed it before you start driving that car. Same concept. Of course, more people aren't driving that car. Everybody didn't go out and buy that car the same day you went out and bought yours. You just weren't looking for that particular car, so you didn't really notice it. But once you begin to focus on it, you really begin to notice it. And so I'm challenging whether or not there's this serious uptick in gun crime. Because that's not what I'm hearing. That's not what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is now we're really focused on gun crime, in particular in the black community, which always makes me wonder why. Why right now are we really focused on gun crime in the black community? Now, you might think the reason we're focused on gun crime in the black community is just because we're fed up. We're tired of it. We don't want to see it, and we need to do something about it. And that's why we're focused on it. We want to see change. We being the greater community, we want to see black people thrive. We want to see them, be successful. We're tired of seeing loss of life and all of that. That's probably not the case. That's probably not the case. The greater community is probably not all that concerned about your community, about stopping gun crime in your community. So then, of course, again, that begs the question, why are we so hyper-focused on it right now? Why? And there's no right answer. I don't know the why. I have some theories, some ideas. But a lot of times what I find that happens is distractions are real. Now, I know some of you are saying, look, gun violence is serious, Emanuel. It's not a distraction to be concerned about gun violence. We should be happy that they are concerned and want to do something about gun violence. Okay. Oh, hold on. Just roll with me just for a moment. You think if they really wanted to, the greater community, the president, your governors, your mayors, your police chiefs, police officers, if they really wanted to do something about gun violence, you don't think they would have done it by now? You don't think that they could have stopped some guns from getting into the community? You don't think that they could patrol the community in such a way, because we all know a lot of times what happens when they patrol the community, sometimes they just harass the community. Like, most people wouldn't have an issue with police in their community if police were actually just in their community for safety. But no, they get in there and, you get more people get tickets, more people just get harassed, more people get arrested for very minor things. If they wanted to stop it, they could stop it. Or at least they could beat it back. But I get the feeling that that's not the case. That's not the desire here. That's not the desire. The desire isn't to focus on it to stop it. The desire feels to me like it's to distract us from things. If we get them focused on this, partially distract, partially divide and conquer. Because some of us fall for the tricks. Some of us do fall for the tricks of, black people are bad and black people are violent and black people are somehow just criminal minded just by virtue of the melanin in their skin. Somehow it has this effect on them that makes them want to shoot, rob, kill, murder, rape. Some of us do fall for that. And I believe, honestly, that's a part of the plan. We talk about it a lot. Some of them will, and it'll cause this head button thing, and that's division. But I really do believe it's a thing to distract us. That, along with a few other things. But what are they trying to distract us from right now? What are they trying to distract us from? I don't have, y'all was waiting for me to give y'all the answer. I don't have an answer. I want you to tell me what is going on out here so important. I don't think they want us focused on these midterm elections that are about to come up. I don't think they want us focused on that. I don't think they want us focused necessarily on voting rights. And I really do believe that they believe that if they can convince us to just focus on this, it's the most important thing in the world, we won't pay much attention to the fact that they're trying to make it more difficult for us to get out and vote, which would then make it more difficult or give us less of a chance of having representation, someone at the table to vote for and or advocate for our interests. I think that's one reason. Of course, I think the whole, no one is talking about defund the police or anything like that anymore. Well, not very much. But the whole idea of police reform, that's a real good distraction from police reform. If we talk about crime in the communities, no one's going to be all that worried about police reform. And this George Floyd Policing Act and qualified immunity, if we can get them focused on the crime in the community, actually, it creates a situation where they're like, we don't care about qualified immunity. We don't care about police abuses. We just want the crime to stop. I think there are a lot of things that they're trying to distract us from by so heavily focusing on crime in the black community specifically. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that crime doesn't exist in the black community. Clearly it does. Clearly it does. I'm not saying that gun violence in black communities is not a problem. Not saying that at all. Clearly it's a problem. Clearly it's a problem. I just don't think that the people who are doing the hardcore talking about it right now care. They're not trying to solve the problem. They're just trying to shine a light on it so that you will focus on it, so that they can do whatever it is that they want to do because they've got you distracted. So in my mind, one of two things have to happen. One of two things have to happen. Either we have to not be so distracted by it that we don't see anything else going on, or we have to pressure these people. Okay, if you want to talk so much about it, you got to do something about it. Like, for real, do something about it. And I will say that I think it's a good idea. One of the things that Joe Biden is talking about, addressing mental illness with regard to gun crimes, specifically in the black community. Because I think mental illness is real. I think a lot of times some of us don't give it enough validity. Like, we see somebody out there, quote, in the streets doing something, and we look at them, you're a criminal. You're a thug. You're this, you're that. We never really think there might be some mental illness involved in some of these actions. We think it a lot, of course, when we see white criminals, it's one of the first things that they tell us. He has a mental illness. he has a mental illness. How often do you hear that for black criminals? How often do you hear? Actually, what I hear a lot of times when I hear people talking about black criminals, oh, they gonna use mental illness as an excuse. That's what I hear. Like, it can't be like a legit thing. It can't be a legit thing. It could be. But I want to know, what do you think they're trying to distract us from? Again, I don't have the answers here. I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. Again, I'm not saying crime ain't happening. I'm not saying it's not actual. But why focus on it if you don't actually want to do anything about it? Why focus on it? Not just two people walking down the street saying, man, it's a damn shame, all these shootings. You're right, it's a damn shame. You can do that. People do that all the time. I'm talking about the president giving a speech on it. Why are you trying to focus us on it? What? I'm talking about the prosecutors talking about stop and frisk. Hold on, why are you trying to focus us on this right now? Mayors and governors. Why are y'all trying to focus us on this? What y'all got going on that we really need to be paying attention to? Because y'all ain't trying to fix it. Y'all just want us to fixate on it.
I got a question.
Yes.
At any point in the last year or 2 years, did any of these politicians declare war on police brutality?
I hadn't heard anyone do it.
Had they declared war on systemic racism?
I did hear a few people declare war on systemic racism. Or not declare war, but declare it a public health issue.
No. Declare war on it as if it is an enemy of this country.
No. I haven't really heard that.
I didn't think so. So what I understand about this entire situation is that this country is only comfortable declaring war on things that it's already been warring with. You've already been warring with black people. You've already been warring with the ills that generational genocide and systemic racism, things like that. These are the effects of those things. And you're declaring war on these effects because you've always declared war on my people. So when you say things like, well, I declare war on illegal guns, that's why I automatically translate that as we're declaring war on people, on black people, on black children.
But why? Again, I agree with you. But why are we declaring war right now? They declare war on things that they really want you to focus on.
Yes.
Because they don't intend on winning the war.
Yes.
Let me take a break. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston, 749-1230. What's going on out there that we should be focused on? What's going on that what are we missing? What are they trying to distract us from? It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Because we've got so much.
All right. Now, hold on. Y'all know I like the Randall Wyatt says, bruh, you reaching. The crime that's happening is not being made up. It's real. Maybe you didn't hear, or maybe you can't hear. I never said it wasn't real. Never said it wasn't real. And look, I understand what the conversation that I'm trying to have anyway. I don't know what it will devolve into, but the conversation that I'm trying to have is not. See, that to me that feels like a divide and conquer comment. They go, you saying crime ain't real? Huh? You saying crime ain't real? Crime is real. No one said it wasn't. And maybe it's a little too nuanced for you. If you can't comprehend what I'm saying, if you can't understand that I'm not saying that crime is real, this might not be a conversation that you can participate in. Possibly. That happens from time to time. Certain conversations are over my head, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to participate in that conversation because I don't understand the intricacies of the argument that's being made, and, I'll sound like a fool if I butt in talking about something because, I'm just not smart enough in that arena to intelligently engage in that conversation. So maybe assess whether or not you're in that position before you attempt to engage in this conversation. Because clearly I never said crime wasn't real. I never said it was being made up. But it's been here. Like, the numbers that I've been presented with, and I don't necessarily believe in statistics anyway, but the numbers that I've been presented with, crime is not going up. So then why are we hyper-focused on it right now? That's the conversation I'm having. Not that crime isn't real. Again, if you really think the conversation that I was having was that crime isn't real, this might be ever so slightly above your head. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody don't have to comment on everything. Victoria wants to know who benefits from distraction. The police. Every time there's an uptick in gun violence, it's always preceded by a protest against the police. There's some truth to that. Yeah. Eugene says, Emanuel, stop and frisk is about taking guns from black men, similar to Ronald Reagan taking guns from the Panthers in the 60s and 70s. Randall, sometimes you just, again, it's okay. It's okay to stay out of the conversation. He says, so crime isn't up, you telling us. Black mothers aren't burying their kids. Bruh, you tripping. Again, I've already addressed it. It's okay to say, yeah, this is a little bit over my head. Shanice says, E-Man got titties. All right. Some people are saying, hey. Some people had to restart. D. Foster says, no, they're trying to get their base up to vote for them. They don't care. That isn't, yep. Yep. $25 minutes after 101.5, the Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. In case you did not know, I stream live on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Instagram when I go live. And sometimes I read comments just before going on the air, and it makes me laugh. So some of the comments just make me laugh, and I shouldn't read them right before I go on the air. But if you want to join, just search my name on any of those platforms, and you can check it out. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. We're trying to have a conversation because, some people, this conversation may not be for you. If you heard what I said in the first segment, and you think that the point that I'm making is that crime doesn't exist, this might not be the conversation for you. You may not be able to comprehend what I'm saying. It might be over your head. There's nothing wrong with that. If you heard that, they're making up crime. Nobody's suffering from crime. That's what you're trying to say? If that's what you heard, again, might not be the conversation for you. Might not. But if you heard what I actually said, 749-1230, if you'd like to discuss it. Let me go to the phone. Beth, you're on the Buzz.
Hello, Emanuel. Let me get you on speaker. I'm sorry about that.
All right.
Let's see here. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. And you?
I am well, sir. Thank you for asking. Listen, when the government talks about health issues in the black community regarding gun violence and things like that, I rarely hear, or I don't think it's ever been a time when a mental health advocate or professional goes on these calls. It always ends badly for us. I never hear any. I hear talk about it, but I've never heard where they're actually going in with them on these calls when they have these issues or suspected issues. It's just you see the individual come out in a threatening manner, or and not even towards the cops, or they might have a weapon, and the next thing you know, he is lit up like Al Pacino in Scarface. So if they think that is really an issue, instead of talking about it constantly, why aren't they doing anything about that if that's how they feel? But I never hear that regarding these white boys that walk around just totally strapped going to Subway with a rocket launcher. I don't hear anything about that. I don't hear mental issues about that. So what is the difference? Is it still that the worst thing that we as black people should be armed with is an education and the gun? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Well, and I'm down with addressing mental illness in the African American community because it exists in our community as with all communities. And
right.
Sure, do I think it's necessarily addressed as best it could be within the community? No, not necessarily. So I'm down with Biden and the people surrounding him saying this is something that we should look at. But again, part of a larger conversation is, and you tell me, Beth, I know you pay attention. Here in Cincinnati, I was watching one of the local news stations, and they were giving us the number of homicides in Cincinnati. And they were saying that this is on pace with last year and a couple years before and a couple years before that. So if it's on pace with what it's been, why we keep talking about it's rising and it's at epidemic proportions, and now we gotta do something about it. Let's start this war. Let's start stopping and frisking people. Why?
Now you said something earlier regarding that it's, what did you say? There's something that they don't want us to pay attention to?
Yeah.
Or, okay. Here's the deal. Whatever it is that we need, that they have, food, clothing, shelter, or, a decent wage, without everything that we really need, that they take for granted and have just they have it so much so where you can pass white boy, white girl going to work. Good morning. What's so good about it? They got it like that because I've heard it. Before I retired, that's what I heard. But you got it like that, so you ain't pressed. They're not hustling to the job. They're like, oh man, I gotta go to work. Are you kidding me? So it's whatever we need. That's what they're trying so hard to keep you from gaining, because as I recall, folks that look like you and me, we did not come here on a Carnival cruise. It was forced labor, and now it's just to this point where it's always something wrong with us. You're mentally ill. You shouldn't have this. You shouldn't have that. But we can, because we've always had it. But when you get to, you have access to it, there's a problem. Like you said, we're declaring a war. You're declaring a war on what? It's just us in general. Just us.
Beth,
Whatever it is, it's just us.
I appreciate
But thank you for
call.
taking the call. I appreciate it.
All right. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Someone was asking on the Facebook page. So the solution is to not do a thing? Of course not. But I don't actually believe that they're looking for a solution. Now, not necessarily with regard to what Biden is saying. I believe he is surrounded by people who are trying to find a solution. I honestly believe this. And someone online says, my inner conspiracy theorist is coming out. Maybe so. I just don't think it's a coincidence that right on the heels of George Floyd, a movement to reform policing, a movement to establish, I'm going to call it a voters' bill of rights, to do something about all of this voter suppression, a movement for all of these things. Out of nowhere, we get hit with, hey, let's do something about critical race theory and let's do something about gun violence in the black community. I don't think that's a coincidence. My point isn't, again, that crime isn't real. Crime is real all over the place, in all communities. But they're not actually trying to solve it. They're just trying to get us to fixate on it. And when they try to get you to fixate on something, it's because they want you distracted from something else. When's the last time you heard about police reform with regard to all of this stuff since they really started focusing on gun crime in America? When's the last thing you heard about the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act? And we just kind of forgot about it. But who's talking about police reform when we got all of these kids out here shooting each other? That's kind of what it seems like to me. Fred, you're on the buzz.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Or good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, you hit home this morning. I've been a long time listener, but a first time caller.
Thank you.
I moved in Westwood a year and a half ago, and on my street alone, it's been, I know, 5 to 6 shootings, 4 deaths. And before I moved on the street, I used to call the police. I used to ride by there before I bought the house and tell the police, listen, you got these people standing outside, this going on. And I'm like, okay, nothing still was happening. I'm like, okay, maybe once I move into the neighborhood and become a resident, maybe then my call would be answered. Still has not been answered. And I call at least once a week, twice a week, about the same people that's selling drugs in the same place every single day. Nothing still happens. But as soon as something happens, then as soon as the news cycle is over with, then it's back to normal. And I'm with you that I believe that they're not trying, to solve the problem. They're just masking it, until something happens and they bring it back out and they, like once again, they buried it all over again.
Yeah.
And my thing is, every time you hear these elected officials and these people start talking about what's going on, and for me, looking over the years, money has been funneled into the black neighborhoods through these community action agencies, through all these other places to help people out. Where's the money? The money has been given to the black neighborhood. Some, I ain't gonna say a lot, but some has been given to the black neighborhood, and nobody can say and where the money is, what have the money been used for, and because I'm tired of being tired of us as black people, basically saying that it's the young generation. It is the younger generation. I don't care what nobody say. We have lost a whole generation of young people. Now, we might can, pull back and save some of the ones now, but you can't, what they say, when the barn door is open, it's open. And what I'm saying to say is that I'm an older black man, tired of having to walk out my door every single day and see the same thing. thing every single day and have no patrols on my street. I feel my safety is just as important as a Caucasian, a Mexican, or anybody. But I don't feel safe in my own neighborhood. Sorry for ranting.
That's all right. Fred, I appreciate your call.
All right, thank you.
All right. That's Fred. Let me get this break in here. It's the Afternoon Experience, 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. If you want to join this conversation, you might think I'm totally off base. You might think, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you think, no, they're focusing on it because they're finally ready to fix the problem. They're finally ready to use that. You say they got the power to do something. They're finally ready to do it. Call in. Let me know that. Now, again, if you're thinking that I'm saying there is no crime, this might not be the conversation for you. But if you just disagree, if you don't believe it's a distraction, if you believe it's just time to really focus on this, and, I'm off base. They're not trying to distract us from police reform. They're not trying to distract us from voting rights. They're not trying to distract us from the midterms. They're not trying to distract us from anything. Give me a call. We can have that conversation too. It's the Afternoon Experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 The Buzz and Walker Funeral Home presents the
All right. I see that there is an entire conversation going on, at least on the Facebook page, about my titties. What? We are having a serious conversation about, see, now y'all got me having to fix my shirt so that they're not as pronounced. Leave my testicles alone. It is what it is. Y'all just got to deal with it. This shirt does enhance them. Ladies, I would tell y'all where this shirt came from because it does a good job of enhancing. But for real, though, aside from the breast conversation, look, if you think I'm off base, call me. Say I'm off base. Again, if you think I'm saying, it's the people who keep saying, you saying that it ain't no crime. Don't call in to say that, because you'll embarrass yourself. And I think maybe it wasn't what Fred was trying to say. But look, if you live in the community and you calling the police about potential crime situations in your community and they never show up, because we see all the time in white communities, or at least let me say I see it all the time because I watch, videos on multiple social media sites about this stuff where people are pulled over, stopped, confronted about looking suspicious in a particular community. But those are the communities where they're worried about the safety of the people in the communities. But if I'm calling, and it's happened to me. I've told y'all the story about the guy who was selling drugs right across from my driveway. I'm convinced he was selling drugs. Matter of fact, I'm certain he was. And I called the police over and over and over and over, and they would never come and do anything about it. They would not. And eventually, I had to go out and talk to the brother. I ain't threatening him or nothing. I tried to be real with him. Like, if you can just, even just move down the street some. But please don't just sit here in front of my house and do it. Because if a deal go wrong, then bullets coming through my window. I didn't say it exactly like that, but that was the premise. And he went on ahead and moved down the street. And then eventually he moved off of my street. I don't know where he is now. But yeah, when I'm calling police saying, hey, there's some suspicious activity going on. Hey, this is happening. Hey, that's happening. And they won't come and ride up the street. Because them just riding up the street and out will scare him off. He'll be gone. They don't want to, and I'm not just talking police when I say they. I'm talking about those people in power in this country. They benefit, they profit from the situation being what the situation is. So to say, is the answer to not do anything? That's what they're doing. They're not doing anything so that the situation can persist in certain communities. 43 minutes after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 3 o'clock this afternoon, 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. It's the afternoon experience. Talking about what some people are saying is an uptick in crime. And maybe in some areas there is an uptick in crime. But there's a hyper focus on it right now. I don't believe that focus is actually to solve the crime. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, though. Let me go back to the phone. Trinice.
You like Trinice? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Curl up.
Trinice.
Anyway, listen, bruh. Sometimes there's a reason to shoot somebody, though. Y'all fail to realize that. You know what I mean? Like, y'all talk, oh, gun this, gun that. Sometimes there's a reason to shoot somebody, though. That's the reason we got guns.
Wait
and we allowed
a
to have
minute.
guns,
Trinice, what would be what would be the
for like a little you gay or something? You the one got titties, not me, bro.
Goodness.
Stop saying Trinice.
Trinice, what would be the reason for shooting
you gonna
somebody?
Keep saying Trinice, okay? What? Disrespect? I mean, what's the reason we got guns? What's the reason America allowed to have guns, though?
What would be the appropriate reason for shooting someone?
What's the reason we go to war and we shoot everybody else?
All right, let's try again. What would be the appropriate reason
bro,
for shooting someone?
You want me to answer that dumb question because you don't want to use your gay-ass brain, bro. Just hang up right now.
All right. Oh, boy. What is wrong with Trinice? Trinice got an issue. Let me get a break here. It's the afternoon experience. If you call in and say, hey, all of these shootings, have you ever thought that these shootings were justified? It seems to me logical that somebody should be able to ask you what would be a justifiable reason for these shootings. That don't seem like that difficult of a question to answer.
And then jumping from that to, well, what do we go to war and fight wars like that? What do you mean? That don't even, like, they don't correlate, baby.
Let me get this break in. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 FM, 1230 AM. The Buzz of Cincinnati is your talk station. Let's go! From six.
Oh, boy. That Trinice was pretty mad. Oh, boy. I think it's a legit question. What is, in your mind, these legitimate reasons to shoot people in the street? There are some legit reasons. There are. And you bring these folks out. Brenda says, let him finish. I asked him a simple question. Look, Miss Mundy, ask me that question. What would be a legitimate reason to shoot somebody? If someone's trying to kill you, maybe. See how that worked? Y'all didn't hear her ask the question because her mic is wrong. I have to go fix that in a minute. But yeah, she asked me what would be a legitimate reason for shooting somebody. And y'all see how I just answered that? You could do that, when you can think. I would have imagined, though, that oh boy. B-Rap says, E-Man, call dude by his name. I did. Treniece spells Treniece every day of the week. Every day of the week. And twice on Sunday. It ain't my fault if his people can't spell. That's not my fault. Let me go fix this mic. I think I got it. And don't be trying to look down my shirt.
513-283-8971 now. Ohio Media School Cincinnati will train you in just 8 short months to learn the skills you need to be an editor, videographer, technical director, content creator, sports commentary, and even YouTuber or vlogger. Call Ohio Media School Cincinnati now and ask for an in-person or virtual campus tour. 513-283-8971. Ohio Media School Cincinnati has been training people just like you for over 30 years. With flexible hours, training in less than a year, and financial aid for those who qualify. What are you waiting for? Call now, 513-283-8971, or visit beonair.com. Ohio Media School, Cincinnati.
Whether you're trying to figure out how to pay off a student loan or how you're going to pay for retirement, the tough economy is affecting all of us. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling wants you to know help is available for whatever kind of debt problem you're facing. The NFCC is a nonprofit organization with certified counselors who can show you how to make educated decisions. You're not alone. Call the NFCC at 800-388-2227 or visit debtadvice.org. This has been a public service from the NFCC.
The voice of the community. We are 101.5 The Buzz, your talk station.
"11 minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Just having a conversation. Is this a distraction? Is this a divide and conquer device? Or are they actually, listen to my third option. They're actually really concerned about crime and gun violence in the black community, and they want to do something to stop it. Yeah, I know that sounds unreasonable. That's not their history. And clearly it's not what they're doing. But I have to put it out there as an option. Is that what you believe is going on? All of these people, Joe Dieters, he is truly concerned about gun violence in the black community, and he wants to do something to stop it. And that's why he's talking about it. If that seems reasonable to you, 749-1230, let me know. But if that doesn't seem reasonable, then what's the other reason that he's talking about it? Let me go back to the phone. Hold on. Is this Shaitan? Shaitan?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, you're on the buzz.
Yeah, I feel like it is. I know it is a distraction because basically I feel like if they wanted to deal with the problem, they already know how to deal with the problem. Like, because they did it once before. Back in the days when all the immigrants from Europe came, and it was like mass white crime. I mean, we see the documentaries on it. Like, to help them, they had a system down how they helped them. They created white unions. They did all this and that to the point now most of their kids and all that successful now, they ain't in the crime no more. They know, and I feel like for America to operate, it gotta be like rich, middle class, and poor, or America can't operate because, like, that's how they set it up. Like, that's how I feel like, because it's always a game to them. Like, every time it's something like, Biden got this infrastructure deal, and then all of a sudden, we got buildings falling down. Like, that was just a shock for me. Like, and then he pushing this bill. Like, I mean, it could just be a coincidence, but I'm looking at it. I don't believe in too many coincidences. So, but basically, I just feel like they just want to lock more black people up. That's all they saying. Oh. If they really want to help people, they could. They know how. They've been through this before. Like, so, yeah.
All right. Well, Shaitan, I appreciate your call.
All right.
All right. That was Shaitan. Shaitan said he believed it is a distraction, and the purpose is just to lock people up. All right. 749-1230. What do you think? I want to hear from the people who really do believe. The people who really do believe that what's going on here is that your public officials, your here locally, you know, your county prosecutor, your mayor, your police chief and sheriff and all that kind of stuff, they really genuinely, the reason they're bringing this up is because they want the shootings, in particular in the black community, to stop. And they are doing everything that they can to figure out what it's going to take to make that happen. I want to hear from those people who that's what they believe. 749-1230. And don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. If you're laughing when I say that, or you're rolling your eyes like, yeah, that's what they want. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. That's what Dieters is really shooting for. If you got to roll your eyes when I say that, then you got to believe it was something else. What would the something else be? Jane.
Good afternoon, King, and Miss Monday.
Good afternoon.
This is a good topic, as always. Did you know psychiatrists don't even know how to deal with a mental illness patient? That's why they medicate them.
Well, that might be, sometimes my understanding of a mental illness is sometimes it is a chemical imbalance.
Right.
And so, yeah,
right.
Medication will help that.
Well, you're right, but this is what I want to say. We're always wondering where the guns is coming from. Well, they found them in that motel. They're getting ready to sell some. And if they really, 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 really want to stop this killing, when a killer goes to jail, don't they ask them where they get the guns from? Can't they ask them?
I mean, they can ask, but if you arresting me, talking about where'd you get this gun, I plead the fifth. I want to talk to a lawyer. What?
Well, I'll get a lawyer, but hey, if I'm going to jail, I'm gonna tell where I got that gun from.
Why? What? They not cutting no deals to keep you out of jail.
I know, but if I'm going, they going.
Oh, you a snitch then?
I don't care. And if I
Ms.
get
Jane,
shot,
you're not the type of person that need to be out here doing crime.
and if I get shot, I'm gonna tell. And what did you say? What is Biden going to do about this gun violence? What is he going to do?
Well, Biden, the Biden administration, one of their plans will be to address mental illness that's happening specifically in the black community as it relates to violence and gun crimes in the black community, which I believe is a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. But I don't think it's just mental illness. These people got some. What did I say yesterday? We was talking about weed.
I don't know.
I said something about they got an attitude, weed attitude. That's what it is. They mean. They don't know what people putting in that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, Jay.
Bye-bye.
With regard to mental illness, one of the people who's consulting with the Biden administration, former police officer Eric Adams, he acknowledges that many crimes in his city involve issues of mental illness. What's more, he contends that 48% of inmates at Rikers Island, 48% of the people at Rikers Island have mental health issues. That's basically half. For those of you who couldn't do the math. He also qualifies the inmate populations at Rikers, offering statistics that 30% of the inmates are dyslexic, like I just sounded trying to say dyslexic, and 55% of Rikers Island inmates have learning disabilities. So, I mean, think about that. 55% learning disabilities, 48% mental health issues, 30% dyslexic. That's a lot of people. That's a huge percentage of, I mean, you know, if you were to extrapolate that and say, you know, somehow you apply that to the population who are committing crimes, it seems like if you deal with their mental health issues, their learning disabilities, you might be able to put a dent in some of these crimes. And if you're actually trying to get this done, then I'd say that might be somebody who actually trying to do something to stop crime. If not, you just talking. You're just talking. I don't believe any of these people are just talking. They're bringing this up for a reason. But again, I've said that enough times. You know where I stand on it. I want to know where you stand on it. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Blade and Hooks, hold on just a moment. I'll get to you. And I have a few other things that I want to discuss as well. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
WDBZ Cincinnati, home of the afternoon experience with Emanuel Livingston and Keeping It Real with Al Sharpton. Weekdays on 1230 AM, 101.5 FM. The Buzz of Cincinnati, your talk station.
Good afternoon. News is sponsored by Business Roundtable. Cincinnati Police have filed charges in connection with the 3-year-old murder case.
All right, I'll be trying to listen. Somebody said the volume was low. It was a little lower than I normally have it, so I turned it up for you. And let me point this out. Let me point this out to the people on social media, of course, because y'all the only ones who can hear me right now. Y'all know that you could get like in serious trouble for what y'all trying to do. Did you know that? Trying to body shame somebody. I know I'm a man, so it don't really count. But think about this. If there was a woman hosting this show on social media and you guys were attempting to shame her for her physical appearance, for her body, man, y'all would get in some serious trouble for that.
That's a lie. You must not have watched any of my lives last week.
Now, people get in trouble for. Oh. It's 1 minute after. It's the second hour of the show. The afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 3 o'clock this afternoon. We're talking a little bit about violence, gun violence in the black community that's going on. And, again, I believe that it's a distraction. Again, not that violence isn't real, but that the people who are trying to get you to fixate on the violence don't truly desire to see the violence stop. For some people, it's just something to talk about. For some people, they want to distract you from something. For some people, they're talking about it, because it maybe helps their ratings. I believe clearly with the news, if you can come up with a lot of different stories about a shooting. I hear that. I hear you. I can hear you.
I'll put you in the queue.
Raven, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes, thank you.
My bad.
All right. I forgot what I was saying. Let me go back to the phone. I regained my train of thought. Blade, you're on the buzz.
You're hitting on a good topic. It's sad that you have to put it the way you have to put it. You should put it down where the goats can get it, because some of us are still high and some of us are crackheads. Hey, I want to tell you, you already said it. And so your mayor already talked about it. What he said, no more pleads, and they're going after young black, war on blacks, young black men. And what's bad about it, nothing changed. Biden, you know what he done in the 90s. He's doing it again, but he's just doing it in a smoother way, because he really has no energy. He's on his way out. Biden is the black neighborhoods. Oh God, our elites went to him and begged for him to come to fix the so-called black community. Chicago, your governor or mayor or whatever. Matter of fact, they had a meeting yesterday with the mayors and the governors about the so-called black neighborhoods. We talked about Trump. He always said it about the black neighborhood, but he didn't do anything. But you already know white liberals talk, and they internally go after blacks because they don't like black people. They just use them for crumbs. Hey, have you noticed? Have you went in your outer white liberals and see have they took their Black Lives Matter signs down? I noticed they you don't really see them signs no more.
I see a lot of them. I still see a lot of them.
Where?
All over the place.
I do Uber Eats every day after I get off of work. When I go in a lot of these white neighborhoods, those signs are still there. So I don't know what you thought, but they're there.
Well, I live in another state. That's why I said it. Over here, they have took their signs down. So maybe your white liberals might help y'all, but we'll see. But anyway, like I said, you're right. They made y'all look like made y'all turn on your own people, because who done it? Who told Biden that the black community have a lot of gun shootings? Because if you look at the statistics, actually black gun shootings have went down. They keep on like that, shooting your head up there at that little park. 2 people got killed, and now they bringing in stop and frisk. Who's being played? See, and what's bad about it, our black women, because I heard a black woman call in yesterday, they would stand for everybody except for the black man. You had a white junkie called in, and then a black woman co-signed for him. How could you co-sign for a white junkie? And let me ask you something before I get off the phone. Would you want a junkie or a weed head babysitting your children? Let's think about what we saying and doing. They about to put war on our black youth, and what's bad about it, they said it, and they doing it, and like you said, we just talking. Peace out, bro.
All right, that's Blade. I can tell you, I would not want a junkie or a weed head babysitting my child. You asked me a question. It's an easy question. You might as well just go ahead and answer it. Go ahead and answer it.
You wasted 10 seconds of your breath doing that. You will never get that 10 seconds
back. It's a
back.
legitimate question. Why not just go ahead and answer it? Cleveland, you're on the bus.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. There was we've had mental health discussions before, but I had talked about how prevalent it is, and I can't remember
Cleveland? Hold on, Cleveland.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
All right. You all right? Did you just run to the phone or something?
Yeah, I was going up and down some steps.
Okay, you want me to hold on? You want me to put you on hold for just a moment so you can get your breath?
No, I'm fine. I was exercising.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
That's the only exercise I can get. But anyway, it's like walking stairs. But I know it's prevalent. And one thing that I would always preach, well, not preach, I would talk to the kids that I work with, especially adolescents, and kind of tell them how prevalent it is, especially in our penal system. And you find a lot of people like whoever you was talking about, people who are dual diagnosed with mental illness and intellectual low functioning. And the prison is full of it. And you're right, it's not addressing the black community. But with regard to the shootings, I haven't done any research, but I did recall hearing on different sources, not necessarily reading. I didn't Google or anything like that. That 2017, 2018, I think it was over 16,000. 2018, 2019, over 16,000. 2020, it jumped up to 20,000, over 20,000. Now, I don't know how significant that is, and it looks like it's going to be that or even maybe more this year. So is it real? Yeah, I think it's real. I think it's, you listen to the news and there are more shootings unless they're making it up. Again, even here in Cincinnati.
Well, number one, no one said shootings aren't real.
No. Well, when I say real, I mean the uptick is real. The uptick.
And again, I don't know about that. I'm just going based on the numbers that I see reported. And right. when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about here locally. When they talk about the number of homicides per year, it's not. I mean, if you get 2 extra, do you really say, well, that's a significant uptick?
Well,
no.
Yeah, and that was my question. On a national level, supposedly, it went from 16,000, over 16,000, to 20,000. So what does that break down to? So that's why I was saying I don't know how significant that is. I don't know. But just from listening to the news, just ear-wise, hearing, it appears to be up, or maybe they're just reporting more. I don't know.
Yeah, look, I honestly believe this. And maybe it's my inner conspiracy theorist. If there's a particular idea that people in power want to present and hammer home, yes, they contact or get in touch with or plant stories with local media so that they report on it over and over and over again so that it'll seem like whatever it is at an epidemic proportion, when not necessarily. It's just what they're reporting on.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that socioeconomic issues have or impact violence?
Absolutely.
Okay. It's the pandemic, and these are my thoughts. 2020, it jumped up. Okay, why? Are people, black people in particular, doing better or doing worse in 2020 because of the pandemic?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah, well, it's a rhetorical question. We were doing worse.
Well, you paused like you was waiting for an answer. That's what.
Yeah, I was, but it's a rhetorical question. I knew that you knew the answer, but yeah. So it impacted our neighborhoods. So employment-wise, stress. You probably have more people doing things young people doing things that they typically wouldn't do, like dealing drugs. And I think you yourself at one time, well, a couple of people have said, well, some people think that much of the shootings here and I guess across the nation, oftentimes there are drugs involved. So, and the same thing with this year, people are hard pressed. So socially, economically, we're stressed. So it makes sense that there may be an increase in violence. Remember, they also said something about more wife beatings. I mean, people were abusing their spouses and all kinds of crazy things like that.
But Cleveland, the question that I'm asking is not is crime real? Not even is it going up slightly? Because, again, that's debatable. Even looking at statistics, I don't believe in statistics, especially those FBI crime statistics for the year, because everyone doesn't have to report it's voluntary. So
it's not a distraction.
So you don't believe it's a distraction.
No.
You believe, for example, here locally, Joe Dieters is really concerned about gun violence in the black community, and so he's doing everything that he can to make it stop.
That's just an excuse to do what he and many of his predecessors, all of his predecessors, have done. You know, Cincinnati, you know, as well as I know and everybody else know, has a rich history of just outright awful discrimination and violence against blacks. But one question I want to ask you before I get off the phone.
Yes, sir.
Why did you do Trennis like that, man? And feminize his name.
I just look at the spelling of it and read what I see on the screen.
But Emanuel, he's a grown man.
Allegedly.
He's a grown man.
Okay.
But you should chill with that.
Well,
that's something,
I won't.
That's something you have a habit of doing, man. You antagonize
I won't, but I do
men.
appreciate your advice and your call. He's got a right to his opinion. And hey, if I'm wrong, oh well. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. It's the afternoon experience. Let me see. Let me get Anthony in here. Anthony, you're on the buzz.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, man, you grew up in Avondale, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You remember how Burnett used to be?
When you say how Burnett used to be?
The Burnett used to be like people stay out like the 4 o'clock in the morning. You had the pimps, the prostitutes, you had fights every night and stuff like that.
I do not remember that.
Well, I grew up a block away from Burnett. I used to stay out there late at night to watch the fights because I knew it was going to be a fight every night.
How old were you when you were doing this?
How old? I was around about 13.
And your parents let you stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning to watch drunk people and pimps and prostitutes fight?
Hold on. Let me tell you. My father was sick, so he couldn't, really watch me.
Okay.
And my mother was at work. So I would be out and I'll sit out there and, just watch the action that was going on out there. But what I'm trying to say is, when you get used to seeing violence, you it's like immune to it. You don't care about it. You're quick to use it. That's what I'm trying to say. I remember an incident out in Mount Healthy where this white guy and this black guy was getting ready to fight, and the white guy ran up on the black guy, and the black guy slid a pole out of his arm, away from up under his sleeve.
Wait a minute. Hold on. A white guy ran up on a black guy. And he did a what?
And the black guy had a pole up in his sleeve.
A pole.
And
okay.
he slid the pole away from up under his sleeve and hit the white guy in the leg, right? And my first thought was, if it would have been me, I would have hit him in the head because I was so used to seeing violence like that. So what I'm saying is, if you're used to seeing people get shot and stuff like that, you quick to do it.
Okay.
So, and then like when the crack came in the neighborhoods, the women used to take care of the kids, really. Most of the women get out there and they get pregnant by a guy and the guy keep on going. And the women take care of the kids. And when they got, well, I ain't going to say all of them, but when a lot of them got hooked on crack, the kids was out there raising themselves. And believe it or not, if you get desperate enough, you do whatever it takes to survive.
All right. And, okay. But the point of these stories is what?
The point of the story is, I would say it's your environment, but it's really not your environment because I had a cousin that grew up in a real bad environment. He's doing real good. But I had a nephew shot and killed. I had a nephew shot. I had a stepson shot and killed. And want war against guns. It ain't because of these grown people out here getting shot. It's because the kids just getting shot. You know, I tell you the truth. Other than the families, there ain't too many people worrying about these grown people getting shot because they figure they out here doing something they ain't supposed to be doing anyway. But when somebody's child gets shot, because these people out here can't shoot, and they just, bullets be flying everywhere, you know. So the point is.
And so you're saying, Anthony, and this is a question, you're saying that you believe that the people who are bringing up the gun violence in the black community, and in particular here in Cincinnati and Hamilton County, you believe they actually want to see the guns taken out of the community, and they're doing everything in their power to see that happen, because not like back in the day in Avondale, but now kids are getting hurt, and they're going to do everything in their power to get those guns out of the community for the sake of the children.
Well, it's for the sake of the children, you know, because we ain't the grown people they really worrying about, because they're going to do what they're going to do.
But you do believe that they are genuinely concerned about the children. For example, you believe Joe Dieters, he's going to do everything in his power to get guns out of the community because he's really concerned about black children.
No, not really. Not really. No, I don't really believe that. But you got to start somewhere. And if I had a child to get well, I did have a stepson to get shot, and it really hurt. And like I said.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that, you know, and are you in a good space now in terms of, because you're saying for you, a lot of it is environment. Have you put yourself in an environment where you're not?
No. I never leave Avondale, you know, but like I said, I never hung out in the, like, other than just watching and stuff, I really never hung out in the street. I had a bullet fly over my head. I had two guys come around the corner shooting at each other, and the bullet whizzed over my head. So, but now, and that's where I'm finished.
All right. Well, Anthony, I appreciate your call.
All right, I'm sorry.
All right.
Talk to you later.
All right. That's Anthony. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Got to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
The Cincy Soul Fest is back for 2021, featuring the Isley Brothers.
All right. Hold on, y'all. Now I got to go back to this one. Pamela Mundy says, I think if a person tells you how to pronounce their name, you should call them what they ask, regardless how it's spelled, period. So, Pamela, from now on, I know my name, Emanuel. Pamela, for you, John. Okay? I'm John. That sounds reasonable, right? Look, you can't come on Facebook. You can't come on Facebook going bonkers on somebody talking about they titties. You know what I'm saying? And then be mad because they call you Trinice when you call in. I take it. You know what I'm saying? You dish it out. I'm cool with it. I ain't got no beef with it. Thank you, Brent. Thank you. Yeah, y'all dish it out. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm on social media, so I'm out here. And you know what I'm saying? I blink too much, or, you know, my titties too big, or, you know, my nipples is, you know, erect or whatever. I can't believe So, look, y'all throw it out. I take it. I'm cool with it. Actually, I think some of it is funny. Maybe even if just funny to ridiculousness, it's still funny. So you can't be mad then when you want to be the troll and then you call in and you get trolled. You can't be mad. If you don't want to take it, don't dish it out. I'm not getting mad because he on there talking about how much I blink how much I lick my lips. I am a little disturbed that he's focusing on my lips that much. Or, my testicles and everything. I'm not mad about that. As a matter of fact, I lean into that. I don't care about that stuff because I genuinely just don't care. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy with who I am and in my own skin, blah, blah, blah. So, right. Exactly. Exactly. So y'all got to be, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I ain't worried about Cleveland or was it Pamela or whatever. And he on here talking about, I'm not mad. Bruh, we heard you on the phone. You was mad as hell. So stop saying you not mad. You were mad. But y'all not going to shame me into, you know what I'm saying, just doing what y'all want to do. Not going to happen. So that is what it is. Y'all can talk about my lip licking, if I can say it right, blinking, lip biting. Somebody says I was sniffing yesterday, so they said my snotty nose. I can't think of all the stuff that people say. Well, some of it be funny. I'm all right with that. Well, don't try to shame me into not coming back from time to time. I couldn't get the words together. Lip liquor. I couldn't get the words together. So yeah, don't get over that. Oh yeah, not washing my hands. I have to put Vaseline on my lips at night. I can't put Vaseline on my lips during the day and during the show because it get on my teeth and it don't feel right. It don't feel right. And then I end up talking funny. So, hey. Get over it. Cedric said, I'm glad you put down the loud shirts. What loud shirts? All right, I got a few more stories that I definitely want to get to. Time just goes by. And y'all really don't understand the conditions under which I'm working. Vent blowing right down on me, make my eyes dry. I do have a slight COVID cough still from time to time. "25 minutes after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've been talking a little bit about violence in the community and if people are actually trying to solve it or trying to distract us from something. So, let me go back to the phone. Omar, you're on the buzz.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic. And you?
Oh, wonderful. Just down here trying to maintain my little business. But anyway, I often call and say things and that I really think about before I call. And, what did you think they were thinking when they were putting the fathers out of the homes where they were with the mothers and the children?
What do I think they were thinking?
Yeah. I mean, you got logical and kind of bright.
I believe. Actually, I'm short brain, just for the record. You coined that, and I kind of liked it. Honestly, I don't know that they were thinking what a lot of people think they were thinking. I think there was a mindset back then that will help women and children, but not men. So if you need our help, there better not be a man there, because if there is a man there, he should be able to stand on his own 2 feet. I don't think it was necessarily let's tear apart the family, but I think it was just an old school mindset.
Yeah. Okay. What about when they was didn't want to educate us, didn't want us in their schools? You know, discrimination, where they really started that, and the hanging that they were doing to the males, most basically. Right?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
I say when they were not letting us go to school, they seemed like that was the worst thing that ever happened for us.
Now when are we talking about? What time period?
I'm talking about history. I
know you're talking about history, but I'm asking, in what time period in history are you discussing when they wouldn't let us go to school?
Well, it's the same now. It's the same now. They take them young people and putting them pills in them. You understand? And you think they need them? They're suffering from trauma. That's what children are suffering from. Every white shooting they have, they got the next day at school, they got the trauma, the trauma individuals that's scholars in trauma.
Okay.
Black kids, they shoot, they getting killed every day. They don't even show the investigation. They don't do no investigation to try to find out, like the person was saying, where the guns come from. You understand? They do no investigation because they never say anything about it. When a person gets shot, they just get shot. There's never any time they're trying to solve any real cases and murders. They're not doing that.
Okay.
Continuously. You know, my father was a policeman for 30-something, 40-something years here. And, I mean, and if things happen and that we only talk about what's the problem. We never talk about the solution. Where's the solution?
Do you have a solution?
Well, I often bring up times the things that I really think is the solution, but you know, it falls on deaf ears if somebody don't know nothing.
Well, these aren't. You don't have deaf ears now. What is, in your mind, a part of the solution? I'm listening.
Back to the fathers in the homes. Okay. When they first started that, putting fathers out of the homes. I was so happy to see the young girl that was won the spelling bee. Her daddy was there with her. Her daddy was there. You looked at the Williams sister, their daddy was there, you know, and then you got the other side where your father is gone, missing out of the home with the boys. They're trauma. They're in a state of trauma because all they hear, your daddy ain't no good, and this and that, and the women down the men, and the children, when they deal with another male, what do they have to relate to? The stuff that their mama teaches them to do.
Well, you know what, Omar? Here's what I'm going to do. Not just for you, but I want to show you that your solutions are not falling on deaf ears, okay? I'm going to reach out to somebody and talk about fatherhood and the importance of fathers in the home and how we can go back not go back, because we can't go back and make it happen, but how we can, moving forward, help fathers either stay in the home or get back in the home or in the lives of their children. I make you that vow. I will look into that, and shortly I'll have somebody on with some knowledge who can have that discussion with me.
And they know that. They know that because of their raising their own children, the white children. You know how white kids react? You know, black kids never react like that. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
no,
hello?
I'm here.
Oh, but they never react like that.
Hold on, react like what?
I mean, just obedient, just disobedient. Just, you know, I heard a little girl in the line say, "Mommy, I want this book. I want it." Her mama said, "Look, I don't have no money." She said, "But you got them credit cards." You know, and they think, man, and they know what they're doing when they took the father out of the home. My father wasn't in my home but I had uncles. I had uncles, and legendary uncles. You know, I had a business in the 70s. You understand? I ran my own business. I ran a drugstore. The man thought I was grown because I was so sharp. He gave me a job in the drugstore on Bland Reading Road. From there, I hired Thaddeus Dawson. Guys that I knew. I hired them. I did everything there. And now look what they do. All the people that's doing something for real, they eliminate them. They try to eliminate them. Carl Westmoreland was one of the greatest developers in this whole country, man. All over this country, they was begging for him to come and develop. Yeah.
I appreciate your call. I got to take a break.
Yeah, all right, but I'm just giving you some history. Hey, one more thing. We have a app that's called Our Black Truth. You hear what I'm saying? Our Black Truth.
Okay.
And they can beat out Facebook, because Facebook, all they do is tell you when your birthday. You already know when your birthday.
Well, it's a little more.
And they're making too much money with that.
All right,
and
so
we have
the
to
app is
start. Okay, but anyway,
the app is. You said Our Black Truth. What is this app? What does it do?
Well, why don't you read the app? Don't take it from me. Why don't you pull the app up? And Facebook is a common thing, and it's ruthless. It's definitely ruthless what they're doing to us.
Okay.
Totally. All right, but anyway, I thought I'd just pass a little wisdom on you.
All right.
Wisdom is closed except to the ears of understanding. You hear me?
Omar, I appreciate your call. All right. If you go advertise something, I've given you the platform to tell the people what it is. We got this app. I got this app called the King of Talk. Check it out. A reasonable question is, if I go to the King of Talk app, what will I see? Don't ask me. Go check it out for yourself. What? That's not. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 The Buzz and Walker Funeral Home presents the Black Business Spotlight. This month, we are shining the spotlight on Nikki Stevenson, owner of Southern Grace Cincy Catering. With over 18 years of industry-related experience, Nikki Stevenson also has experience in accounting, customer service, and management, also while having obtained her bachelor's degree in business administration. Nikki Stevenson moved to Cincinnati in 2014 after asking God to show her her life's purpose. She was reminded of the passion she had and skills she learned for cooking and had always wanted to own a restaurant. After many prayers, she decided to pursue the picture God gave her, and that's how Southern Grace Cincy Catering was born. Nikki Stevenson, 101.5 The Buzz and Walker Funeral Homes congratulate you and Southern Grace Cincy Catering once again on being nominated and selected for this month's Black Business Spotlight. For more details or to nominate a black business for the spotlight, head to thebuzzcincy.com right now. Known for excellence, trusted for value, Walker Funeral Home. Expanded with 4 convenient locations to better serve your family. Let Walker help you create a unique, meaningful service for your loved one. Walker services are second to none, including advanced funeral planning and very affordable cremation services. Peace of mind, award-winning services, compassionate staff, and affordable. Call today, 513-251-6200. That's 513-251-6200. Walker Funeral Home, known for excellence and trusted for value.
Your home is a big investment, and protecting that investment is a big responsibility. If you live in a condominium or homeowners association, you need to think about how your community association is managed. Is your board knowledgeable? Is your manager trained and certified? Is your investment safe? CAI, Community Associations Institute, has the tools you need to protect your home and community. CAI is a nonprofit organization with resources you need to answer these questions and others you might have about community association management. Everything you need to build a great community. CAI.
Hold on. And one more thing. About this Diddy thing. Have you ever thought that what you're seeing might not be titty meat? It might be growing chest muscle. Have you considered that as an option? I don't know why that entertained me so much. It sounds like the YouTube folks are more mature. Yes, they are. Mike Will 729 says they need to show more respect to the king. Logic Slayer says, why bring up the app if he's not gonna talk about it? Y'all all need to go to my app. What's that app? I've never seen a McDonald's commercial where they say, come to McDonald's and find out what the new meal is. We're running a special. What's the special? Why are you asking me? Don't you go find out? I've never. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You never see that commercial. Oh, my goodness. What is wrong with people? J. Rose says, why can't I see you on Facebook? I don't know. I'm there. I don't know why you can't see me. How you get mad? I thought it was actually like I'm lobbing him up to, go ahead and promote your app. You know what I'm saying? This is a lob. You can dunk it. You can throw it down. Growl with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me. Who else am I supposed to ask? Oh, boy. All right, let me go.
We're your talk station. 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati.
$20 minutes till the top of the hour. 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Hooks, Joyce, Phil, all coming up. They're all on the way. I saw this story. Did you see the lady in Victoria's Secret? Anybody else see that video? They're calling her the Victoria's Secret.
Oh, the white
Karen.
lady in Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, the white
like
lady who just
convulsing.
She went bonkers. Apparently there was a black lady. What's this?
White women are so hilarious.
It's Ujoma Ukenta. I know I'm butchering that name. But that's the lady's name. She was in Victoria's Secret. She said she just went in there to get her free panties. She had a little coupon for some free panties and I think like $10 off or something. And for whatever reason she was recording and there was this Caucasian lady who just flipped out. Stop recording me. And then she ran at the lady and like charged her. But then I think she thought about it. Like, hold on. All this Karen stuff. I'm going to look real bad when this gets posted to social media. So then she just flipped out. She started screaming. She fake passed out. Like she did. She fake passed out. Just laid there on the floor. And then was telling everybody, she provoked me, and I don't want her to film my nervous breakdown. And then she started following her around, and she was screaming. And when I say screaming, I don't mean, like I be screaming at people sometime on the radio. I mean, literally just screaming at the top of her lungs while chasing this lady around Victoria's Secret.
Oh, she was giving material for her lawyer to have in court. That's what that was. That's all that was.
And then she called the police. I'm sorry, some people hate when I say that. She called the police, and apparently they came, and of course they listened to her story. But the black lady was saying, like, look, because people were trying to tell her, there was a lot of Caucasian ladies in the store, like, why don't you just leave her alone? And that's how we found out about the free panties. Because she was like, I just came here to get my free panties. And just as an aside, it's never a bad thing, ladies, to go get some free panties. All right. And so she went there. She went to get her free panties. And she's like, she could easily walk away. She could walk away. And she was like, I am not taking this camera off of her. I'm not taking this camera off of her, not for 1 second. She said, because if something happened, you think the police gonna come here, and when they come here, you believe they gonna believe her white ass, or you think they gonna believe my black ass? But I'm recording, so no matter what they believe, she was like, this is the type of stuff to get black people killed. It was bonkers. But when the lady fake passed out,
that's commitment.
And she laid there for
that's commitment.
Good minute, like for a while.
As soon as she realized she was being recorded, she was like, okay, I have to provide material for my lawyer to be able to get me up out of this, because I can't go down for this.
Oh, yeah. So it's an interesting video. If you haven't had a chance to see the Victoria's Secret Karen, it's an interesting little video. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. Hooks, you're on the buzz.
How you doing there?
Hooks, I'm doing all right. How about you?
Oh, I'm stepping lightly. Well, I'm from the West End, and I got some insight on a few things. I've been coaching the TAF for 11 years, and I know that, it started with the home. The home has been broken, so you got these young black men out here looking for love, and they find it in the streets, so you got following followers that's manipulating the weak one to do things. And the solution is that you got to start from the grade school. The 6th, the 7th, 8th, and the 9th grades, you have to get them. Then you got these 7th, 8th graders in school where high school is now. So the leadership, they're looking up to the leadership. They ain't seeing no leadership, so they're trying to be like them. I know 7th graders cuss, do all types of things. They in the 7th grade. They do all types of things up under the sun. I can't even say on the radio.
Well, I was cussing in the 7th grade.
No, but they doing more things in the 7th grade that grown folks do, and they talk about it and brag about it, which to me is ridiculous. But these youth, these young men out here, they love it's in the streets. You might have a mother. A mother might have 3 children. She can't save the older one. She let him go because she got to save the youth, the young ones that she has. So he may resent his mother, hate his father. So he go out here, he found love in the street. He find a frenemy. He thinks he a friend, but he an enemy. He got him doing things that's not right. So to me, they really hate themselves. They look in the mirror, they hate the situation they came from, they hate themselves. And we got to find some way to do something. Well, we got to get into the elementary schools and the junior high schools. We got to get them right there. That's where you get them from, because you got 13 and 14-year-olds with all these guns. Where they get all these ARs and AKs and all these guns from? How they purchasing them? They not purchasing them. That stuff is given to them by someone.
And that's but Hooks, that's the stuff that if the prosecutor really wanted to do something about the gun violence, he'd begin figuring out where that's coming from, where those weapons are coming from, and prosecute those people instead of necessarily the younger people on the street who end up the end users of them. Prosecute the people who are getting them, and they can figure that stuff out. They know. I mean, I know police officers who are like, yeah, people know where these guns are coming from, but they won't do anything about it.
I feel like this. Me myself, I don't know, but I feel like it's coming from the Arabs, these foreign stores. You got all these foreign stores in the black community. All these foreign stores. You walk up and down Lynn, downtown, it's foreign stores everywhere. Ain't no black stores. There ain't even no white stores. No, the gas stations, foreign stores, foreign.
Well, I
don't. That's my opinion about that.
But based on, hold on, but Hook, that's your opinion based on what? Like, have you seen anyone purchase a gun out of a store owned by an Arab?
They able to sit stand in front of the stores and sell dope. They won't do nothing to them. They won't call the police on them.
Hold on, but have you seen this happening?
I said I think.
But that's what I'm asking. You think that based on what, though?
That's why I believe because where they getting these guns from? Where you getting ARs and AKs from? And you 14, 15, 16? It's not that easy.
Hold on, but
I'm getting all these guns. Where you getting all these guns from?
Wait a minute.
They can get guns like Skittles.
Right, but Hook, I'm not even saying that you're wrong. I'm just asking. Because just to say, oh, I think this is where it's coming from, based on absolutely nothing, it could easily be considered like racial stereotyping or something. But you're saying you believe it's coming from the Arab store based on what, though? What evidence have you seen to make you believe that? Or you just believe it because they're Arab?
It's a sixth sense, I believe it. It's a sixth sense, I believe. It's just like drugs. Where are all these drugs coming from? How they getting over here? I haven't seen a plane come and dump it out, but it happens.
And they're coming from the Arabs too?
They coming from foreigners.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Arabs, whoever. They coming from foreigners. I think so. There's things in this black community. There used to be black stores all down Lynn. I grew up in large homes. And I had, the reason why I'm speaking of it because I was involved in it myself. I just happened to come up out of it. God took me up out of the darkness. I saw the light. He took me up out of it.
Well, when you were, hold on, Hook, when you were involved in it, where were they getting the guns from?
We was fighting. We ain't had no guns.
Oh.
We was fighting. We was rumbling, You know what I'm saying? Now these days, these guys, they can't fight. They're pretty boys. They want to start something, do something to you, but they don't want to fight you. They want to shoot you and kill you. But we used to rumble. To me, a lot of these killings, it's a lot of cowardness. It's cowards.
All right.
That's just all I want to say.
All right. Well, I appreciate your call.
Yeah.
All right. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Again, I'm not saying that they're not coming from the stores that are owned by Arabs. I'm not saying that. I don't know where they're coming from. But if you come to me and you say, I think they're coming from the Arabs, I'm going to ask you, you think that based on what? Just have at least something. A sixth sense. That's not really enough. That's not really enough. But they are coming from somewhere. They are coming from somewhere. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. It's the time for a break. I'll be right back.
All the news and information you need is just a click away at thebuzzcincy.com.
He got a sixth sense. Okay. I'm not mad about his sixth sense, but if you're telling me that they coming from somewhere, I want to know. Look, if he would have said, I can't even think of what would have been something good to say. And why do people be thinking I'm trying to trick them or trap them or anything like that? I'm just asking the question. These are These are not traps. I don't have a particular answer that I'm looking for when I ask the question. If you call me and you say, I believe Lincoln Ware is getting paid by the so-and-so and so, I'm going to say, you believe that based on what? And you at least have something. Well, because he have been promoting so-and-so pretty heavily, and I saw him here, and, you know, and I noticed that he got a new car or something. You know what I'm saying? Something. There might be great explanations for all of that, but at least your suspicion was based on some evidence, something. I think Lincoln getting paid to promote so-and-so. Like, you say that based on what? I just got a sixth sense. Your sixth sense don't really cut it for me. And Tria, by the way, y'all keep typing John. No, it's spelled Emanuel. It's just pronounced John. But y'all spelling it wrong. Emanuel spells John. Everybody knows that. I don't understand the people who can't answer simple questions. Cinnamon Bitch say that video was wild, and everybody continued to go about their business while she was cutting up. Yeah, they did. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody is saying that everybody ain't getting enough video. Look, if the thing is acting up, here's what I can tell y'all, because I don't even know if y'all seeing this. Because I'm getting now alerts. If the video starts acting up, it's not me. It's not my equipment. It's the internet here. Okay? It's the internet. This internet here. And I want to criticize anybody. But something is internet here, and it works fine sometimes. Other times it just runs super slow. It drops out. Now, of course, I didn't know that it did as much stuff before I started live streaming, and I can actually see the minute by minute when I watch it, and sometimes it just completely drops out. And that's the same stuff that be happening when I be looking up stuff on the internet here, and I be like, what is? And I'm thinking it's something with the website. But no, it's the. Five minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati, your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. On the other side of the glass, I have a technical phone screener, co-host, all-around smart person, and your favorite millennial, Raven Mundy.
Hello.
Let's see. What are we talking about? We're talking about apparently a few different things, and that's fine. That's fine. I wasn't sure where the conversation was going to go, but the Biden administration, they plan on addressing mental illness in the communities with regard to the gun violence that's going on. And that's apparently rampant throughout the country on a uptick, epidemic proportions. You can't walk out of your house without dodging a bullet. It's like the Matrix. Where you go, you just got to walk around with your head on a swivel like Neo, dodging bullets just all over the place. The people watching on the live stream, that was good. Y'all say what y'all want to say. That was a slow motion to one side, to the other side, and it was a good Neo if Neo was fat.
If you have to talk to convince the people that it was good, chances are it wasn't that good.
I saw it. When I did it, I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. Looked and I saw it, and every once in a while, I do things that amaze even me, and I marvel at them. So that's all that was. You ain't never been, and you hit a note, and you was like, "Damn, I didn't even know I could do that."
Not really.
See, you got to get to that level. Once you get to that level, you're gonna be seeing. You're gonna hit something, and you're gonna have to stop, and they're gonna be like, "What you doing?" And you're gonna be like, "I'm sorry, I got." That was hot. So yeah, trust me. Yeah, but apparently they want you to believe that it's at those levels. You're gonna have to step out the house and dodge bullets to get to the car, and you need bulletproof windows on the street. Just a barrage of bullets gonna be coming at you. I think violence is real. And something's got to be done about it. But it's not that's the level that they're acting like it is. From these voting rights laws, like what they're doing. Y'all seen? I know y'all seen this story where the cats in Texas don't want to vote on these restrictive voter laws with everything, and they all got together. They hopped on a plane and they flew to D.C. so that the vote can't take place. And if the vote can't take place, the law can't pass. And how long though can that work? How long can that work? But they're saying, they're lobbying the government, like, we got to do something. We need y'all to pass something because they off the chain in Texas. Do people still say off the chain? Okay. They off the chain in Texas. Of course, the governor says, look, here's what's going to happen when they come back. We're going to arrest them. They probably not going to arrest them. They might, take them somewhere, but, they probably not going to arrest them. But people are going to great lengths to preserve your right to vote. And
what would they be arrested for?
Well, they can arrest you for anything or even nothing. They shouldn't. That happens all the time. People get arrested for nothing.
But how does that help the other side is my question.
Well,
you're going to put me in handcuffs and I'm going to sit in the holding cell for a couple hours.
No, he's saying he's going to put them in handcuffs and take them to the house, and they're going to have to vote.
When did this turn into like some dystopian movie? Like, what is going on? So this sounds like, does it not sound strange to anybody else that I'm going to handcuff public officials and force them to conduct take part in this vote that is a clear representation of disadvantaging people from their right to vote? Like, that sounds crazy.
Well, sounds crazy, but that's what he said gonna happen. Joyce, Fillmore, Kima, Shay, there's one line available if you want to call in, if you want to tell me what you think. It's the Afternoon Experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
WDBZ, Cincinnati, an Urban One station, minority controlled and operated, and serving the African.
Okay, I don't know if y'all can even see me now. I'm not even sure that y'all can see me now. YouTube is messing up. I think the Wi-Fi. Well, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm straight plugged in, hardwired in. I think I messed it up. See, that's what happened. I messed it up with that Matrix move. And now everything is just frozen. The Matrix didn't know how to handle that move. I won't do any more Matrix moves, okay? All right? So once everything get back together, no more Matrix moves. It threw the whole system off. I apologize for that. See, I knew it was good. I didn't know it was that good. No. It got caught up in the Matrix. That's my hands. They're actually not. They are kind of dry. I washed them last time I went to the restroom, and I don't have the lotion in here to moisturize them. So I sound like Herbie Hancock on Rocket or something, just scratching with my bare hands. Let me see. Okay, I got an hour to go. I got some stories. Let's try to get into it. Three minutes after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now, I got to bring up this story that I know nobody likes to talk about. Nobody likes to talk about this stuff, but I got to bring it up. All right. Lawsuit says Georgia Medicaid should cover gender-affirming surgeries. Yeah, 2 Georgians have filed a lawsuit saying their constitutional rights were violated when the state Medicaid program declined to cover the gender-affirming surgeries they say they need to live a full life. Yeah, a full life. They need, gender-affirming sex change. That's what we used to call them. You can't call nothing what we used to call it back in the day. But if you old school, that's what we called it, a sex change operation. All right? The issue is whether reconstructive or plastic surgeries sought by Sean Thomas and Gwendolyn Chaney are a matter of medical necessity. Of course, in Georgia, they characterize gender-affirming surgeries as cosmetic surgeries or experimental or investigational surgeries. And they don't cover that. They don't cover that. And these 2 people are saying, hey, in order for me to live my life to the fullest, to pursue happiness. Y'all know that's somewhere in, I believe, is that the preamble to the Constitution? Where the pursuit of happiness is in there? I don't remember. I had to sing it, Schoolhouse Rock style. But somewhere in some of them documents is your fundamental right to the pursuit of happiness. And they're saying, hey, we get to pursue happiness as well. And what would make us happy is some surgery. Now, they do surgery, like the gender thing, but also, like if I wanted to turn into a woman, I would have to, according to these lawsuits, I might have to get surgery like on my face to, make my very, very masculine features look more feminine. So they're saying that should be covered too. If I want my feminine features to look masculine, I might have to get some surgery for that. And that should be covered. So this is an actual lawsuit going on in Georgia. Let's see what happens. The Medicaid system say we're not covering it. The ACLU is on behalf of this. The ACLU is arguing that by not covering these procedures, Georgia's Medicaid program is violating the U.S. Constitution, the Affordable Care Act, and the Medicaid Act. We'll see where it goes. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. Joyce, you're on the buzz.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, and you?
Well, good. Well, you did make a statement that...
Hold on, wait. You're not going to tell me how you're doing?
I already know I'm doing great.
Okay.
Oh, yes. When I called and you heard my voice, that meant I was great, doing great.
Oh.
I can talk and think at the same time.
Right.
So I'm doing good. But anyway, you're giving a little bit of a pass to a people that, A, came to a continent and stole so many millions of people, brought them in the hold of the ship. Then after they took them off the ship and made them work for free, they raped them. How many rapes do you think occur in the United States a year? I mean, just a figure.
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, but how many rapes do you think occurred when they took us off those split ships and put us on those plantations? Can we even fathom how many rapes?
Fathom.
Phantom? What do you always say?
Fathom.
Fathom? Yeah.
Fathom. Yeah.
Fathom. Okay. How many do you think occurred? How many millions? And then the next year, millions.
Yes.
How many millions in the next year? How much trauma would that take hold on a group of people that have been raped and molested and raped and raped and raped and raped and raped? I mean, I can't even think about how much trauma that is. And then you say those people took the men out of the house in the 1940s or 30s when they were going to start giving some assistance to people, women. They took them out because they just didn't want the men to get assistance. After they raped and raped and raped and raped, and those people are now just using the old school logic that, well, we're going to help the women, but we don't want men there to help. No, after they raped and raped and raped and raped and raped our people, and then the men who could have stayed with the family and maybe brought some sanity back to and made a unit. No, they continue to want to degrade us and take our minds from us and take the man's mind and have him go nowhere. Because remember when slavery ended in 1865, when they finally told everybody they were free or they were emancipated in Juneteenth, then they didn't give them any money to go anywhere. They still had to be slaves. They still had to work for nothing. And then years and years and years, still nothing, and still out in the street working for pennies while everybody else was getting. You give them a pass. They just didn't want. They just was using the old school logic.
Well, look. Hold on, Joyce. I'm not gonna argue the point. I was asked what I thought they were thinking.
No, they weren't thinking that.
Hold on, and that was what I figured they were thinking. Although I don't dismiss the thought that it's quite possible and even probable that no, they were thinking let's split these families apart. You know, that whole divide and conquer. We tear apart the family. We tear apart the fabric of their family, their development. Take the men out of the house. Blah blah blah. And they'll be in a constant state of. I'm not going to argue that.
They weren't doing. They did just what you just now said. That's what they did. Because if you rape and rape and rape and rape and rape, you don't just get nice. You continue what you're doing to continue to tear down a group of people. Now, President Biden wants to bring some mental health in. We need a lot of mental health. Because Omar did say one thing: if you begin to hate the people who you hate, the ones who are closest to you, and that will become the men in the family or the men you don't see in the family, not realizing why they were taking away some of them. They don't even realize why they were taken away. They don't even realize why they hate their family or hate their kids and don't identify with that's my son or that's my daughter. They don't even know all the see that 1619 project and all the history that won't get brought up to us, and we go over it, whitewash it, or just dummy it down or dull it in our sense, because it's a lot to take on when you begin to think of how many people had to be raped, how many people were fatherless, how many people kept on being fatherless, how many people kept on being raped. Men got raped, women got raped, kids got raped, little girls, little boys. You just don't want to think about that. And that is in our psyche. That continues to affect us to this day. Yeah. That affects these young people on the street, and we need to get some men who will go talk to them and let them know. That's why we're maybe doing this. And we got to continue to talk about it, get it aired out, cleared up, and heal ourselves, because that is plaguing us. That is the illness. But we got to help each other to get this illness out of us, because America's made us sick, real sick, because they sick.
All right.
Thank you.
Joyce, I appreciate the call. Okay. Look, I'm not going to argue the point. I was asked what I thought. I gave an answer, but I think the other answer is just as credible. Maybe more. Maybe more. 749-1230, Kima.
Greetings. I just wanted to weigh in on where the guns was coming from.
All right.
Have you all talked about the Addison Chief Police that's wrapped up in that gun sting?
We haven't talked about that, but yeah.
Okay. And then I have a quick little story back in 2009, I'm say 99, 2000. I'm getting all confused. But okay, back in 99, 2000, I have two sons, and I talk to them all the time about this world and the things that they have to be careful for, growing up. And their eyes are open, was open. So one day back then, my sons were about 15, 17, 8 years of age. We lived in Lincoln Heights. They came home like, Mom, all excited. There's a man up on Jackson Street selling Glocks out the trunk of his car. What color is he? He's a white man. He got the bullets and everything. He sat up there for 2 hours and sold guns. And like I told my kids back then, he was a cop. Because ain't no way you could be a white man, sit up on Jackson Street in Lincoln Heights and sell guns and don't nobody come do nothing to you. So that's where the guns coming from. The police officers, the same ones that's killing us. They handing them to our babies.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm not against the idea that there are people, including those in law enforcement, who participate in getting guns into the hands of our young people. I believe that happens. I believe it happens. White people do it, black people do it, law enforcement, people in government. Yeah, I think that happens. No doubt. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. Hold on, Fillmore. I'll get to you in just a moment. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
In case you missed the Russ Parr Morning Show, here's what you missed. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. This is Linda Blankenship.
Where are you calling from?
Cincinnati, Ohio, sweetie.
Are you ready for your question?
I'm ready, honey.
What spice would give you the impression that Meg the Stallion was crazy? Is it A, oregano, B, sea salt, or C, nutmeg?
A?
A, oregano? No, you got that wrong. I'll ask the question again. Let me give you another shot.
Why does she say
oregano? What spice
oregano?
would give you the impression that Meg the Stallion was crazy? A, oregano, B, sea salt, or C, nutmeg?
There you go.
Nutmeg is correct.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
They give you an impression she nutmeg is nuts. Thanks for listening to the Russ Parr Morning Show. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on 101.5. The
Oregano. Oh. I love my people. She might be listening right now. Because if she's from Cincinnati, Why did I just make that noise when I start talking? What was that? Because when she start, if they from Cincinnati, the Russ Parr Morning Show airs on this radio station. So there's a possibility that she's still listening. All right. Oakdale Wood says, Joyce makes a great point. Beth says, so my tummy tuck or whatever I want should be covered, and it is not. So no, theirs should not be covered either. But they argue your tummy tuck, Beth, is not like what's the term they kept using? Hold on. Is not needed to live a full life. Their gender reassignment surgery or their sex change, they need that. You don't need yours. You could just work out. All the working out in the world ain't gonna turn that vagina into a penis or that penis into a vagina. So they'll tell you that's the difference. That's what they'll tell you. Sabrina says, what about breast reduction? I'm not 100% sure, but I think they might cover that. They might look at that and say, well, that's not for cosmetic purposes, like her back is messed up or, whatever. So they might actually cover a breast reduction. They don't cover it if it's for cosmetic purposes or if it's experimental or investigation. No. Yes, investigational. Somebody said, quit talking about your relative, Emanuel. I don't know what that means. But, okay.
They'll challenge your authority. They'll try to break your will. They'll push you to the edge of your sanity. Because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory, not theirs. Defend it. Who makes the payments? Who cleans it? Who drives it? You do.
I don't know what that means. Nicole says, but black men who blame black women for the divide of black household dismisses the trauma on black women, which the rape, domestic violence, beating, lynching, forced labor is unaddressed trauma. We can't keep pointing the finger at each other when we both suffered. Oh, let me process that for a minute. Black men who blame black women for the divide of the household. What? And I'm just asking, what black men are blaming black women for the divide in the household? I hear black men blame black women for choosing terrible black men. And if that's what you're talking about, some black women choose horrible black men to procreate with and then think they're going to be there. Or some black women, I don't know what, I hear black men complain about how they raise their black male children. But I don't really hear, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I'm just saying I don't hear a whole lot of black men blame black women for the divide of the black family. What's up, Chris? There's only one M in my name, but I appreciate it. 21 minutes after. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Let me get Fillmore in here. I got a couple more stories that I want to get to, but what I've been talking about, let me say what I started talking about, which kind of transformed to something different, but I started talking about the coverage that gun violence is getting. Doesn't seem on pace with the fact that the people trying to help solve the problem. Okay, the way I phrased that was confusing. I see a lot of coverage and a lot of people talking about gun violence, but I don't see those same people who are in the position to do something about gun violence doing something about gun violence, specifically in the black community, because that's what they're talking about. That's what all the coverage is on. So then you even got people like Cleveland, for example. Cleveland says, hey, it's got to be going up because I see more coverage of it. And hold on, let me say this, and then I'm going to you, Fillmore. Just because you see something covered a lot doesn't mean that it's happening a lot. I could do a story every day about, pick something out of the air, something that happens so rare. You got something in your mind? I could do a story about that every single day. Doesn't mean it's happening more because I talk about it more. We really haven't figured that out yet. You're telling me we still believe that because we see it on TV, that means that it's happening more? Come on. I thought that part, I thought we figured out. Like, even if you say, I believe there's more gun violence. Based on what? Well, because I see them talk about it more on the news. I wouldn't think that would be your reason. Like, maybe I hear more gunshots when I'm trying to sleep. Like, okay, at least you're hearing gunshots and, you're basing that on that. I see the police and the crime scene unit out there more now in my community than I ever seen it. Okay, maybe now you got something. But because they talk about it more on the news. That week when I was out, the shooting happened at Smale Park. I saw a whole lot of stories about it. A whole lot of them. Even on the same newscast. They would talk about it. Then they would talk about the mentality surrounding it. Then they would talk about how they're going to move forward. Then they would talk about if they're going to still have events down there. Then they would talk about how successful can an event be if they have it down there. So they just did 5 stories on the shooting at Smale Park. Do that mean more shootings happened at Smale Park? And they talked about it every day. So that mean every day somebody got shot at Smale Park? No. Don't fall for that. Come on. Let me go to the phone. Fillmore, you're on the bus. Fillmore going once. Fillmore going twice. All right. Thank you for your call, Fillmore. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. And I also talked a little bit about this lawsuit that says the Georgia Medicaid should cover gender reaffirming surgeries. I didn't really say how I feel on it. No, I'm not really bought into the idea that they should cover that. I'm not really bought into that idea. If they choose to cover it, I'm not against it. It don't hurt me one way or the other. But it's not your constitutional right to switch from male to female. That's not a constitutional right. It's not. It's not if you feel inside like whatever it is in your body doesn't show it on the outside. You can live with that. I mean, you might not be comfortable with it, but that in and of itself, it's not going to kill you. You may be so depressed by it that you kill yourself, but that in and of itself, that doesn't kill you. So I don't know if I would say it's medically necessary. I don't know if I would say it's medically necessary. It's clearly cosmetic. It's clearly cosmetic. Should they? But again, I don't have a problem if they choose to cover it. I don't care. I don't care one way or the other. I think a lawsuit is not the way to go. Maybe lobbying or something like that. Lobbying.
I say whatever works. Whatever works for whatever
Medicaid
you are trying to achieve for yourself. Whatever works.
To do it, but I don't know that a lawsuit is the right way to go about it. And if someone can, because someone says, why isn't it a constitutional right? Because it's not. There is nowhere spelled out in the Constitution you have a right to switch from male to female or to have your body parts switched from male to female. That's not in there. It's just not.
That's why the Constitution is amended, though.
But it hasn't been. So it's not a constitutional right until it gets amended.
Okay, and so then this lawsuit could lead in that direction. It changes. It starts on a legal platform, and then it becomes something else, because it's gonna, no matter whether it becomes a law or not, it's gonna continue to be challenged, and so eventually there will have to be some lobbying done. So I like I said, I don't think that this is the quote unquote wrong way to go about it. If you want this as a trans person in this country to be a constitutional right, do that however way you see fit. And
this isn't, even if they win this, it won't make it a constitutional right. If they win this, that would just mean that Medicaid would cover their gender reaffirming surgery. That still wouldn't make it a constitutional right.
You're correct, but I do think that it's a step in that direction for people who wanted to become that. And too, like, y'all have heard me talk about my weight loss surgery. That is not something that technically people can view that, and it's very difficult at times to get covered by insurance, but I was able to get it covered by insurance because it's something that I technically could have lived without, but I realized for myself in my state of health that I would not have been able to be or live the life that I live currently unless I was going through with that surgery. I was over 400 pounds. I lost about 80 by myself, but after a certain point, there is a mental thing where I had to put certain physical limitations on my body in order to train my mind and condition myself and my body to behave in a way that is healthy. It's technically, most people view it as something that is, cosmetic, but it was a major step that I chose to make for myself because I realized I cannot live the life that I choose to live if I don't start here. Just from that experience alone, I feel like a lot of times I identify with some of the things that trans people go through because I grew up with a feeling of body dysmorphia, of not feeling comfortable in my body, of not understanding how to be or view myself. Like when there's no connection between the way that you view yourself and the way that the world views you, and also just like you can't even trust that what you currently look like as you're sitting here, you don't even really have a concept of that. When you do something that changes the way that looks, that gets you closer to what you actually view yourself with, it changes your whole entire being. And so for that purpose alone, I get a lot of the struggles that trans people go through. Body dysmorphia is real. For me, it's body dysmorphia. I've never wanted to change my gender, but I've definitely wanted to change parts of my body because they don't match with how I view myself in my mind. And that's not something that you can just get over. That's something that either you do something about it or you spend the rest of your life in agony, in confusion, in depression and all this other stuff because you'd have no concept of how I feel on the inside does not match how I feel on the outside. I've done a lot of work internally to love more of myself, and so at times I do find moments in myself where I feel like I feel beautiful today. I feel amazing today, and I feel that more often now that I'm at a place where I'm able to more closely identify my body with what I view in my head. But it's a struggle. It's a constant struggle. It's not something that just like you get over. It's just not that.
And that could be said about a lot of things, though. I mean, it could be said about a lot of things. I don't know that, and even with all of that said, you're not arguing that it was your constitutional right to have, whatever procedure you had. You wanted to have it.
I never viewed it as like a quote unquote constitutional right, I guess, but I did feel like I shouldn't have to like be made to feel like I don't have a right to do this, because that's what it feels like. It feels like, based on whatever societal pressures or standards or whatever, that based on how you feel about those things, I can't do what I want to my body.
No.
That's what it feels like, though. You disagree with my choices, and so you want a right to my body.
No.
That's what that feels like.
No, that's not it at all. They're not saying you can't have this surgery. They're not saying the surgery shouldn't be available. They're not saying the surgery shouldn't be available to you. They're saying, I shouldn't have to pay for it. That's what they're saying.
I feel like like I said, there are plenty of other things that are covered under insurance that aren't, life or death procedures. Why does this have to be so different?
Well, I mean, it's the way Medicaid laid it out. They don't cover cosmetic procedures or experimental or investigational procedures. Now, look, you can look at it and you can call it what you want to call it. It's clearly cosmetic. Clearly. So then say Medicaid should cover cosmetic procedures. And look, if they gonna cover all cosmetic procedures, cover them. Go for it. You want that nose job? Get it. Medicaid should cover it. You want enhanced breasts? Get them. Medicaid should cover it if they're covering cosmetic procedures. But if not, but they're suing. We'll see what happens. I don't have a problem either way, but it's not a constitutional right. It's not a constitutional right. Let me take a quick break. Phil Moore is back. I'll go to Phil Moore when we come back. It's the Afternoon Experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
The Buzz of Cincinnati is with you wherever you are. Just download the Buzz app to your smartphone and get the best in talk radio right in the palm of your hand.
In your hand.
Plus, connect to our social media all through the Buzz app. Just search WD.
J. Rose says the procedure must be identified as medically necessary to be covered. Yeah. J. Rose says, well, I feel like a skinny woman on the inside. So there's that. C says, hey, what happened to the white crime stories? I came back from vacation and forgot about it. I forgot about it. I'll pick them back up tomorrow. Tria says they're saying the taxpayers shouldn't have to pay for it. Yeah. Martha says, can you imagine all the plastic surgeries that would be done if Medicaid paid? Everyone would look like the Kardashians. Anthony says it could be covered under mental health. Okay. Janice says there is a physical dysmorphia condition where some people feel that they should not have arms, legs, or other body parts. There are those who have tried to cut them off. Do they have the right to cut off their body parts, or are they mentally ill? All right. Elliot says, I can't believe what I'm hearing. What can you not believe? Nikki. She says, if I pay for insurance, I should be allowed to have the procedures I want. Well, but these are Medicaid. And even if you pay for insurance, you got to pay for the insurance that cover the procedure that you want. You can't just say, well, I got insurance, you should cover everything that I want. No, different plans cover different stuff. Some plans say we don't cover this. Some plans, I'm sure, say we cover everything. Go pay the money for the plan that covers everything if you want everything covered. But if your plan doesn't cover it, then it shouldn't be covered. And this is Medicaid. This isn't a private insurance company. Martha says most private insurances have the same exemptions. But I'm sure you can possibly find an insurance plan somewhere that just covers everything. Beth says, I think it's cosmetic for them as well, so they can feel better about themselves. And again, I don't have a problem, because it ain't my business. You know what I'm saying? It ain't me. If you was trying to force me to get gender reassignment surgery, I would be furious. But they not trying to force nobody else to do it. So I don't care. But I do understand people who say, well, what I'm understanding is them saying that it's their right, their constitutional right to do it. That's all I don't agree with. I'm not even saying it shouldn't be covered. I'm really not. I don't care if they cover it. So what? Cover it. I don't care. 38 minutes after. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. Just talking a little bit about the lawsuit, Georgia Medicaid. They're suing. They're saying they should cover gender affirming surgeries. Old school terminology there was a sex change. And hey, but it's not their constitutional right. That's all I'm saying. Fillmore, you're on the buzz.
How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, Fillmore. How are you?
Okay, yeah, it's Delmore, not Fillmore. It's Delmore.
Are you're saying Gilmore?
Delmore. Delmore.
I still had a hard time understanding you, but go ahead.
It's Delmore Griffin. Okay.
Delmore with a D as in David.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you. My question is, man, it's like this gun control shit, man.
Hold on. What's going on with your phone?
Can you hear me? Oh, man, can you hear me?
I can. Are you on a Bluetooth or something?
No, I'm not. I'm on the phone. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up. Like you coming in, going out.
Let me back up a little bit. Can you hear me?
Just go ahead. We'll fight through it.
Okay. My question is about the guns. Man, listen, let me tell you something about these guns, man. We're going to give these kids, whoever gets caught with a gun, 10 years. I'm still real. Just give them 10 years, man. Give them 10 years with no questions asked. When they go to court, somebody I want to get a lawyer. You don't need a lawyer.
What?
Get caught with a gun this week. Can you hear me?
Delmore, I might have to let you go. I'm having a hard time understanding what you're saying. Here's what I got so far. If somebody get caught with a gun, they should get 10 years in jail.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yes. Back to that. 10 years flat. Right on the real. Up in Baltimore, they do that. They give them 10 years. Now, you can get a lawyer. Yeah, you don't need to even get a lawyer. Because like when you get caught this week, next week you go to court. Next week, then after that following week, we see you on up the road. 10 years. Man, listen, let me tell you, man, that would stop a lot of gun violence, man.
No, it wouldn't.
But you don't think so?
No.
I really do. Why you don't think so?
Well, what do you get for murdering somebody?
Me personally, if you murder somebody, this is how I feel about if somebody came to murder somebody. If you came to murder somebody, and you felt guilty for that murder, you do your time.
Right,
You go
but
to jail for it.
right, but people go to jail for murder, right?
Right.
On a regular basis, right?
Right.
Are people still murdering people?
Yet they still murder because you know why they still murder?
Because they don't care about that time in that moment. They don't care about your 10 years. They wouldn't care about those 10 years in that moment when they're carrying around that gun. The only time that they're going to care about it is once they get caught. Crime, the sentencing for this stuff, that works for me, right? So I've not murdered anybody because I don't want to go to jail. It's not that I haven't wanted to murder somebody. You know, I've thought about it. I've considered it. No, I haven't really considered it. But you know what I'm saying? You never know. I might want to murder somebody. That'll stop me because I don't want to go to jail. All right? But for somebody who they ain't all that worried about going to jail. What is jail? So what? I ain't no punk. I go to jail. I do those 10 years standing on my head. That's not going to stop a criminal from being a criminal.
Listen, I hear what you're saying, but if we don't get 10 thugs together, we can get 10 thugs lined up and I'm quote unquote, I repeat this. If you go, I tell you what, here go the question. You can go buy 10, I said you can go buy a gun from this person over here. Before you go buy that gun, if you get done with that gun, it's 10 years. Man, I guarantee. Out of that 10, 7 of them going to think about it, man. And they could be hard-nosed criminals. 7 of them going to think about it. Like, listen, you know what? Shit.
What?
That's 10 years. I ain't going to take that
Hold
gun.
on. Just, you can't say the S word. But, no. Delmore.
You don't think so?
Delmore.
No.
They are still, Delmore?
Yes.
All of the crimes that get committed, people know you go to jail for committing crime, right?
Exactly.
But they still commit crime. Why haven't they stopped?
Because they listen. Something is wrong with them. You know, it's something wrong.
Those
with them.
are the
It's
same
something wrong with
people that would still buy guns because something wrong with them.
Listen, when you commit a crime, sometimes you don't think about it until you do get caught. Then not sitting down there in the justice center thinking about, hey man, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done it, but maybe I should. But I tell you what, man.
All right, tell me.
It's me, thing. It's just me. It's just me.
All right.
You get these guys 10 years, man, and off the rip, I believe me, it'll stop a little bit.
All right.
Thank you.
I appreciate your call. Clearly, it won't. Why is this hard to get through people's heads? I was listening one day when I was off, and I heard somebody saying something to the effect of, if you gave parents time when the kids commit a crime, then the kids will stop committing a crime. No, they won't. That's not going to make a parent who don't care about their kid care about their kid. Giving them 10 years for having a gun, I don't even know how that would work because it's not necessarily illegal to have a gun. But I guess if you're talking about if you somehow have a gun and it's an illegal gun in the sense that, well, maybe you have a felony, so you're not allowed to have a gun, or because you committed the crime with the gun, then you get an additional 10 years for the gun specification or something like that. But just a blanket 10 years if you get caught with a gun, that don't make sense just on its face. But there are specifications already in place. And they don't care. Stuff like that is not gonna stop people who are either caught up in the moment, because when you caught up in the moment, you're not thinking about what's gonna happen to you.
Or somebody who just really wants a gun. Like, that's not going to deter that person
Right.
at all.
If
I have weighed the pros and cons of this, and I've decided that I want a gun.
If I'm a criminal and I want a gun because I'm out here living a criminal lifestyle, and I know at some point somebody going to shoot at me and I got to be able to shoot back, the threat of 10 years in jail ain't going to stop me from buying my gun or getting my gun or stealing my gun or whatever my gun. Because guess what the greater threat is? Being out here in these streets without a gun and people shooting at me and me not having any way to defend myself. It's not a logical solution.
This idea that people commit crime without actually weighing the consequences, I wish we could just let that go. Because that's like, I ain't never lived a life of crime myself, but I'm quite sure you move a certain way when you're committing a crime because you realize that there's a risk involved here. You realize that there is a possibility or a consequence of my actions. And so I deliberately am moving in a specific way to make sure that I can still be out here doing this illegal stuff and avoiding these consequences. I might not be successful, but I know that it's there.
Let me get this break in. Marie, hold on just a moment. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Here's what you need to know with Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. As Texas Republicans continue to charge ahead in passing new, more restrictive voting laws, Democratic state legislators left the state Monday to block Republican legislators during a special session. Texas rules require 2/3 of lawmakers to answer a quorum call, and those who are absent can be detained by the State Department of Public Safety and returned to the Capitol in Austin. Texas lawmakers will likely have to stay away for weeks to run out the clock on the special session, which under Texas law lasts up to 30 days. As the Delta variant of COVID-19 rapidly spreads,
Ain't nothing wrong with the mic, LaDonna. We was having a private conversation. Lady K, we was having a private conversation. I know y'all couldn't hear me. Walter says that's how the crime bill was passed, when they were giving out 10-year sentences for little crack rocks. Right. And that stuff, look, that stuff is rooted. Delmore, mentally, he was, in a good place trying to figure out what can we do to cut down on the crime. There was nothing malicious about it. But I agree, then when you put that into practice, and then you end up with all of these people unintentionally sitting in jail with 10-year sentences because he was speeding and the police found a gun.
The wild part about this whole thing to me is like, why, you said it a million times, why are we falling for this? Like, do we not talk about all the time how this crackdown on drugs in the community ruin lives and families and generations of families? We talk about it all the time, and we just keep going for it, and I don't get it.
But we do. People's hearts be in the right place. People are tired of seeing crime.
And I understand that, because so am I. I'm tired of turning on the news and all these white people talking about is us and us killing each other or us committing crime against each other. I'm tired of seeing it too. But I'm not willing to sacrifice the livelihoods of the generations of black people who are going to suffer because we want a temporary solution to a overall gigantic problem that don't even start with us.
Wait, get your tickets now for Kim. Get your tickets to see Kim, July 22nd.
Because I guarantee you, once this stop and frisk stuff start, in the next 20 years, we're going to have to explain to our kids how this even happened, and they're going to be looking at us like, why did you let this happen? The same way my generation be looking at some of our elders like, why did y'all fall for this? Why did y'all let this happen?
In America's infrastructure, to all members of Congress, support this.
Lady K says, basically, if she can't hear everything that we say, then turn the camera off. All right, let's take a vote. Y'all know I like a good vote. Do y'all want the camera on? Or do y'all want the camera off? You can just type on or off. Here, let me show y'all how to work. This is the camera on. See? Hey, how y'all doing? Hey. Let's see. This is the camera off. Camera on or camera off? Just y'all can let me know. Quick vote. Brenda, something wrong with your device. Something's wrong with your device. I don't know what you watching and listening on, but you always complaining about the volume of something. There was nothing wrong with the volume of the callers. If you're listening to the radio, you get the exact same sound on this stream, when we're not in commercial break, as you do on the radio. There is nothing wrong with the volume. Check your device. Check your device. It's off, and you can blink as many times as you want. That's something to think about, huh? I have to weigh your afternoon experience versus my constitutional right to blink. You know what I'm saying? I have to weigh those now. Oh. Eight minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. Did I already say it's the afternoon experience? I feel like I'm repeating myself now. Let me go back to the phone. Let's get Marie in here. Marie, you're on the buzz.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm calling on that thing about the constitutional rights and all of that. You were very right. They don't have a constitutional right to anything like that, period. And then another fact is that they keep wanting and wanting and wanting more things. That's their lifestyle. That's what they have chosen to live. So when you've chosen to live a certain way, everything doesn't come your way. Now, as far as Medicaid and Medicare, they don't do that for anybody. So there's no right, period. So are they saying that nobody gets cosmetic surgery? Anybody, nobody. So are there supposed to be special allowances made for them so that they can get it?
Well,
I don't think so. Nobody can get cosmetic surgery through Medicare or Medicaid. They state that. There's no cosmetic surgery for anybody. So why should it be for them?
Well, I don't think that they view what they're doing as cosmetic in the sense that they're not doing it just to look a certain way for the sake of looking a certain way. They view themselves, and I'm not here to speak for them, but I would assume that what they're viewing is that they're doing it to match what they feel like they are, not just for vanity's sake.
But listen, no matter how you put it, or whatever they feel in their minds, Emanuel, it's cosmetic surgery. Medicaid and Medicare does not do that. I can remember about 8 or 9 years ago, Ford Motor, they challenged Ford Motor because they were just living together, and they thought that them, not legally married, they thought that them and their partner ought to be able to get insurance, which you can't get insurance, period, regular people, if you're not married on the job. You can't get insurance. They keep making challenges and challenges and challenges. Are they supposed to be a special people because they have decided what they want to be or what they want their gender to be? They've even went so far as to tell you, oh, no, that ain't what he meant in the Bible. So when does this end? When does all of this end? If this is what they want to be, if this is the life that they've chosen to be, go on with it like ordinary people do. We don't get everything we want.
Well,
why are they special? Because in their minds, they're not the same. What is special about that?
Well, I think speaking when they were trying to get insurance for their partners, they were not allowed to be married. And the idea was if I've made a decision to be with this person and I'm not allowed to be married, I should be able to cover my significant other on my insurance.
Emanuel, I understand exactly what you're saying, but listen, they knew at the point where they weren't allowed to be married, they knew that in the beginning. I just think they keep asking, and they keep asking, and I don't think that it's right. And I think they ought to face their knocks and bruises. They have decided this is the life that they want to live. They need to go on with it and accept the bruises like everybody else. Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Hold on, before you go, Marie, can I ask you one question?
Yes.
How does it hurt you, though, the lifestyle that they live?
Listen, I don't care what lifestyle they live. It doesn't matter to me, period. My mind is not even focused on the lifestyle they live. At the end, they've got to go to God with all of that. I don't care about any of that. I just happen to think that they keep asking and they keep asking and they keep asking, Emmanuel. I don't care about what type of life they live. I don't hate them because, like I said, you, me, them too, at the end has got to answer to God. So I don't care, and I'm not hating. I'm just thinking they keep stretching it. They just keep going from one thing to another, and that's what I do not approve of.
All right.
Thank you.
I appreciate your call. 749-1230. Man, you don't really have time to get in. Don't call. You don't have time to get in. So if you hadn't heard this story, man arrested after driving from Wisconsin to Ohio to have sex with a mom and a daughter. Of course, you know, the daughter is underage. Like, really underage. 8. It was one of those stings. This 41-year-old man, he drove all the way from Wisconsin because, you know, he was involved in one of those stings, and they told him that this mother and her 8-year-old daughter would have sex with him. And, you know, he went to the thing. He sent nude photos of himself, and he talked about wanting to meet the mother and her child for sex. They agreed to meet up. He drove the 450 miles, and he was arrested. He's charged with attempted rape and importuning. Wow. What an 8-year-old. Who the hell want to have sex with an 8-year-old?
A pedophile, maybe?
I don't like those undercover stings and all of that kind of stuff. I really do feel like they're entrapment. But I don't feel bad about them either because, you know, they getting some kind of sick people off the streets. Thank you, Raven Monday, for everything that you do. I appreciate it. Everyone who called, everyone who listened, I appreciate you as well. Until next time, it's been the afternoon experience. Al Sharpton is up next, keeping it real. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace. All right. Yeah, I really don't like those stings. I don't like them. They bother me because it kind of is pre-crime. It's pre-crime. We gonna get you, even though what you were doing was technically not a crime, but you were trying to commit a crime, but it wasn't a crime. But they do. They always fall for it. How could you fall for that stuff? Somebody says I have to put Raven in more. Okay. I'll get Raven in more. Yeah, that's some To Catch a Predator stuff. I've always felt like and you know, I'm hesitant to say it because I don't want to give no predator a way out. But I always say, man, if I was one of those like sick old dudes, Miss Mundy, thank you very much. All right. All right. Have a good one. I've always thought if I was one of those sickos, they could never catch me. They would never catch me. I would be like, with everybody, like, you know, are you an undercover police officer or something like that? Because I've always wanted to be with an undercover police officer. I really hope this is an undercover police officer. You know what I'm saying? Something. So when they caught me and be like, yeah, this was a sting. We were undercover police officers. I'd be in court like, look, I knew it was a sting. That's why I kept talking about wanting to meet undercover police officers. I'm not saying they don't deserve to get caught. They do deserve to get caught. I'm glad they get them off the street. I just don't understand the people who fall for it. Like, they not smart people. They not smart. Have they never seen To Catch a Predator? They never see this show? Nikki talk about they would catch you. They would not. No, they wouldn't. I'm telling you, they wouldn't catch me. Because I would always, I mean, you know, I could always say I knew it was a sting. Terry says they so horny and they don't care. Cedric says perhaps they fall for it because they're sick. Nicole, hey, watch this YouTube video about Catch a Predator. I can't watch it right now. That Ross Freeman, he's still talking stuff. I don't know what he's talking about. They fall for it because the procurement is literally happening every day. The guy tells that the cops he was there to stop people from doing bad things. Sick people out there, Emanuel. It is, and I'm glad they catch them. I don't understand, and I know when some people say sick, they don't mean sick, but I think sick, like a mental illness sick. I think that's like a mental illness type of sickness. I know, nobody else feels that way. They just, that's perverted, and they want to harm children and blah, blah, blah. But I really do feel like a grown person who want to get with a little kid, that's some mental illness stuff. And it may not be classified that way, but that's how I feel about it. Brent says, when is the Color of Rhythm's next performance? I don't know. We don't have anything on the books right now. We don't have anything on the books. That was a gig that we had booked up well in advance. I don't know if anybody came out to the gig. If so, then thank y'all for coming out and supporting us. It was a bad day for me. It was a bad day for me. But I pushed through. J. Rose says, remember the guy who was caught naked chasing the cat? No, I do not. I know nothing about that. Y'all see the guy To Catch a Predator where the guy brought a whipped cream and a cat with him? Terry says, I think mental illness. I remember the white man last year got caught in blue ash. He got out and was busted the same night doing the same thing. Jeannie says, are you in a band? OMG, didn't know that was really real. Everything I say is real. I'm always real with y'all. And we had a decent crowd out. Decent crowd came out. Well, more than a decent crowd came out. Even though I'm not going to lie, they didn't come out to see us. Any more bee attacks on the home front? Yes, as a matter of fact, there was. Well, no, not really. I did do the thing for the carpenter bees. And oh my goodness, them bees came pouring out of there like it wasn't no tomorrow. They didn't like that stuff. And even a few days later, like I kept finding bee carcasses or bee carcae. I think that's the plural of carcass. I kept finding the bee carcae laying around. I didn't count them, but I know I got at least 6 of them out of just one hole. Because there's one hole when I park in the driveway next to the house. There's one hole right there. And every day I would pull up, there would be more carcae laying there. So at least 6 of them, and that's 6 of them after the fact. That's 6 of them after the fact. So I got to go, and I'm going to spray again. Because I haven't gotten up there and filled in the holes yet. So I'm going to just, go and spray them, at least once a week. So I'll probably spray when I get home tonight. Because I didn't know, I thought the hose was super deep. I told y'all I'm childish. Just to forget that. It don't even matter what I thought. I thought the holes were super deep. So I bought a whole lot of cans of the foaming carpenter bee spray. And when I sprayed it in, I was like, it's nowhere near as deep as possible. I can't even get the whole thing in. I've experienced that before. But yeah, I couldn't even get the whole thing in. And when I sprayed, it was just shooting everywhere. Oh, I don't mean any of this stuff the way it sounded. But when I sprayed, it was just shooting everywhere. It caught me off guard. But so I got another 8 cans of that stuff, and I sprayed all of the hole. And I told you it was 12 holes on one side of the house and 5 holes on the other side of the house. And I didn't even use one whole can. So I got another 7 cans of that stuff. Just so yeah, I'll be spraying. I didn't say anything. Y'all got dirty minds. Y'all got dirty minds. I'm talking about spraying the stuff in the hole because it's a little straw that you attach to the can, and then the stuff come out. And when you spray it in the hole, it fills up the hole with white stuff. It's a white foam, and the white foam overflows. It runs out. What I'm saying is true. Y'all dirty minds got me thinking other stuff. But it's a foam you spray, and then, the foam is white, and then it overflows. And, if there are any other holes that it comes out, that are connected to that hole, it'll come out of that hole too. So yeah, I'm gonna get up in there and spray it. I don't know why I'm doing this. That's the international symbol for spray and bee spray. I'm gonna get up there and spray it today. I think I'm gonna do it every Tuesday until I'm out of spray, or until I just feel like I've gotten them all. Because that was the thing about it. If you spray and you don't cover it up, they can come back. But there are some crevices that the spray might not make it into. So they might be hiding in there. And that might be why they were coming out later on, because if it were filling up the hole, then they would have come out, all of them at the same time. But maybe it was some that came back home and then the spray was still up in there, and that was why they came out and died. So, yeah, I'm a spray every week. And then I'll get up there and I'll cover it up. Either once I run out of spray or once it start getting cold. Because eventually all that stuff die off. So then once it start getting cold, I'll get up there and I'll spray it and then put the filler in and fill up the holes. No, that is the international symbol for spraying. Like, that's the international symbol for taking a picture. Take a picture. That's the international symbol for spraying bee spray. Everybody knows that. Zero. Sorry about inappropriate. No, that's not inappropriate. Y'all minds are in the wrong space. Get y'all minds in the right space. But I thought, because it's a little red straw that you connect. Y'all done seen cans like WD-40 or something where you connect the straw to there. I thought I would put that straw in and it would go all the way in. It just barely went in, then it was bumping up against something. I was like, what the heck? If it was just that shallow, I would be hitting the bees right now. So it had to have a curve or something. There had to be some sort of a curve in it that I wasn't getting to. Y'all nasty. Stop. What? Oh, that. No, that's not that. That's that. The whole. Lady K says you didn't do it right. No, I did it right. That's the straw, and that's the wall. See, this, not this, not this. Oh, no, not that. This. Oh, Nikki, talk about so you can't get it all the way in, huh? Hey, sometimes it's just, it's too, or I guess I would say sometimes it ain't big enough. And it only go in so far. And if you keep pushing it in. See, y'all just terrible. Y'all try to make me act like that. Y'all try to make me act like that. And I'm really a really, really good guy. I don't be thinking about that stuff. But y'all be. But now Nikki tried to turn it into something sexual, and somehow the man was inadequate because he couldn't get it all the way in. If he can't get it all the way in, that means he's more than adequate. Just so y'all know. When they be grabbing their stomach, I feel it right here. You know, that type of stuff. It's true, it happens. It happens. I feel it up in my stomach. Yeah, no. That's what you say. That's what you say when they say that. Oh, that's not Nikki because he's inadequate. How did y'all get here? How did y'all get here from a bee story? The cats, the kittens. I can't talk about the kittens either, because then y'all gonna take that somewhere else too. But no, we haven't. I haven't seen the kittens around. I didn't see them actually at all last week. But I was out in the yard doing a lot of stuff, last week, cutting stuff down and all of that kind of stuff. So I might have scared them away. Why does your lady voice sound exactly like Lincoln Ware voice? Oh. Lady Cake, talk about that's not what you say. You supposed to say lay back and take a breath. Okay. If you say so. I was talking about bees. I was talking about carpenter bees. Carpenter bees. I can't say I was talking about bees, because then he calling women bitches. No, carpenter bees. That's what I was talking about. I didn't take anybody anywhere. And no, I'm not naming no daggone kittens. Those kittens are wild kittens. Wild kittens don't have names. They that shall not be named. Oh, let me turn that off. Oh, all right, let me see. I never did get a chance to go through. I say this every once in a blue moon. Every once in a blue moon, I say this. Thank you, Janice. Thank you. I say this every once in a blue moon. I appreciate y'all. I do. Y'all give me a hard time, and it's all good. I don't mind even a little bit. I'm going to tell y'all this. If somebody's on here saying bad things about me, thinking that they going to hurt my feelings or something like that, it's not going to happen. You got to work real hard to hurt my feelings. It's not going to happen. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the shots. I take them all as good-natured, and even the ones that ain't good-natured, if they funny, they funny. Funny is funny. Funny is funny. So, and if it ain't funny and it's just like exceptionally mean-spirited, I really just kind of, either I address it or I ignore it, because it ain't that big of a deal. So, yeah. I appreciate y'all for encouraging me to do this. Again, I only did it because of y'all. And I enjoy it now, just as much as I enjoy doing the radio show. I enjoy the live stream. I enjoy the interaction. And I have a good time. So I appreciate y'all for supporting me. And I'll be seeing like a number of my family members on there. Some people will have the last name Livingston. And most of those are family members, even though I've seen a couple Livingstons on there that was in no way, shape, or form related to me. But some of them, the last name be Livingston. And, that's either my sister or my brother or my niece or my nephew or something like that. And I appreciate their support. I have some cousins that come in who, they support me. And I appreciate them as well. And, again, I appreciate every single person that takes the time out of their day to watch me. I mean, listen to me on the radio, I appreciate that. But the extra effort to go through to watch, to focus on what I'm saying, or a facial expression that I didn't even know that I was making, and stuff like that. I appreciate y'all. I really, really, really do. I got to run today. And just a heads up, next Monday, when the show is over, I'm out. I am out, because I got to take that little baby to her gymnastics, whatever. I don't want to say lesson. Is that what it's called? A gymnastics lesson? So, yeah, I have to take that little baby to her gymnastics lesson. Her mama be sending me little videos of her doing her gymnastics, and it is hilarious. So apparently she asked for me to take her, and the little girl told me that the little baby want me to take her, so I got to leave here Monday, basically at 3 o'clock to get her to her gymnastics lesson, and so that's what's going to happen on Monday. I'm looking forward to that. So that's just so y'all know. When Monday come and the show is over at 3 o'clock, when I say I'm out, y'all, peace, y'all, I'm gone too. So just so y'all know. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Got to get out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.